Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Brass Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. The views and our opinions are ours and are not affiliated with the NPB, the Pacific League, or their sponsors. We are bringing you tonight's game between the Orix Buffaloes and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. And hopefully you folks can enjoy the game here at home or on the road along with us, as we are going to be bringing you all the calls tonight in the ball game. And we're going to first off give you the starting lineup from the visitors from Osaka, the Orix Buffaloes. Leading off and playing in right field is number 61, Toku Masachano. Batting second and playing in left field is number 1, Shuhei Fukuda. Batting third in center field is number 67, Kai Nakagawa. The cleanup spot and playing first base is number 44, Yuma Tongu. Batting fifth and playing third base is number 6, Yuma Mune. Batting in the sixth spot and doing the designated hitting is number 8, Marwin Gonzalez. Batting in the seventh spot and doing the catching is number 2, Kenya Wakatsuki. Hitting eighth and playing shortstop is number 24, Kataro Kirbayashi. And batting at ninth and playing at second base is number 10, Koji Oshiro. And they're going to be facing Takahiro Norimoto, who is 0-2 on the season. He has worked 25 in the third innings. He's allowed 18 hits, 6 runs, all of which have been earned. He has walked 7 and struck out 21. He's got an ERA of 2.13. Well, that's your starting lineup for the Buffaloes. And now the starting lineup for the home team, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, who entered this game really struggling so far on the season. They are now finding themselves right at the bottom of the Pacific League, behind the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Leading off and playing in left field is number 0, Hiroto Kobakata. Batting second and in right field is number 48, Yoshi Watanabe. And the 3 spot and playing third base is number 39, Yukiya Ito. And the cleanup spot and playing second base is number 3, Hideto Asamura. Batting at fifth and in center field is number 27, Takiro Okajima. Batting sixth and doing the designated hitting is number 35, Hiroki Shimochi. Batting seventh and playing first base is number 7, Daichi Suzuki. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 2, Hikaru Ota. And batting ninth, the shortstop, is number 34, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. And they are going to be facing tonight for the Orix Buffaloes is Yuta Kuroki, who is 0-1 on the season. He's worked 4 1/3 innings. He's allowed 7 hits, 4 runs, all of which have been earned. He has walked 2 and struck out 3, and he's got a fluffed up ERA of 8.31. Well, Norimoto is taking to the hill as the ceremonial first toss is over, and I don't know how to really describe it other than it was a very pretty young lady, and she was doing her best Mariah Carey impersonation. But that is now over, and we are about ready to get this one going as Norimoto is taking to the hill to start his warm-up tosses. So hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight. It is Buffaloes versus Eagles in game 3 of the set, where the Buffaloes have taken 2. We'll be back in 30 with all the action. Hang tight. Welcome back, everybody. We are about ready to get this one going. I don't know what's going on here. We had some challenges yesterday as we had to flip through to our A and our B feeds. Our A feed is not cooperating with us again here tonight, and so we may not be keeping our eyes fully on the chat in the early going until we can get this sorted out. Norimoto is completing his warm-up tosses, and we'll be getting this one underway. Another beautiful day in Tohoku, as the crowd in attendance is also a bit of a sparse crowd. It is another day where they have a lot of school children at the game, but around the area where the more, we would say, paying customers would be, we just don't see the attendance in that area quite yet, but there are certainly spots of the ballpark where there is a good solid attendance. Well, Norimoto is completing his warm-up tosses, and we're going to get this one underway here in just a moment, as it is going to be leading off for the Buffaloes. It'll be the top of the order. It'll be Chano, Fukuda, and Nakagawa. For Tokuma Sachano, he's hitting .308 on the early going. He's got no homers and 4 runs batted in. So he comes to bat here to face the right-handed throwing Norimoto. Defensively tonight for the Golden Eagles, from left to right, it is going to be Hiroto Kobakata in left. The center fielder is Takiro Okajima. In right field, it is Yoshi Watanabe. Around the horn, it'll be Daichi Suzuki. Hideto Asamura. The shortstop is Yamazaki, and the third baseman is Ito. And the battery of Norimoto and Oda as we're ready to get this one underway. And rocking into the windup is Norimoto as the right-hander faces the left-hander. The first pitch is swung on. This ball is lined into shallow left field. Coming in on it is Kobakata, and it looks like he's going to make the catch, or is he? The runner, Chano, is going to stop at first base. We're going to have to get a look at this one. Chano thinks he's got himself a base hit, and the Buffaloes manager thinks he does as well, as we're going to go have a look at this one, as the umpires are going to make their way off of the field. So the first pitch of the ball game, we've got ourselves a review, but I don't think we're going to have to make the review. We've already seen the replay, and that looks like it's a base hit. If I'm Chano, I'm not moving off of first base, as that ball looks like it was not caught. It was trapped. We're going to get an angle. We got a good angle from center field, and you can see it short hopped into the glove of Kobakata. Kobakata did a decent job of the sell. The home plate umpire is on his way back out, and he is going to make the determination that the ball was definitely not caught. So that is going to be a base hit here for Chano here to begin the ball game. As I mentioned before, we are going to be sticking with our, what I would call our B feed for the part of it here, and we'll be bouncing back and forth. So if you're joining into the chat, we can't see it quite yet. So here we go as we're going to resume the action. That's going to bring up Shuhei Fukuda to the plate. And for Fukuda, he's hitting 167 on the early going. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. He did get the start in last night's ball game. The Buffaloes absolutely ran riot over the Eagles, as it is, they jumped out to a 6-0 lead in the early going, 3 in the second last night, 3 in the third. Added a consolation run late, and then the Eagles scored 2 in the bottom of the ninth to make it somewhat respectable. It was an 8-2 final. So here comes the first offering here to Shuhei Fukuda, but instead they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Chano. Chano is a threat to steal. He's got 4 stolen bases in the early going. Of all the players in the Buffalo lineup tonight, he has 4. Everybody else has combined for 3 stolen bases. And here's the pitch from Norimoto. It's a fastball taken on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Fukuda. So no balls and 1 strike. As we said, it's a beautiful day for baseball. Our friend Troll Zaddy said, checking in, boys, and welcome, Troll. As looks like we've got our A feed sorted out for now. So here's the 1 strike pitch. Squaring to bunt is the batter Fukuda. He gets it down. It is fielded by the first baseman, who throws it to the second baseman Asamura covering. That's going to go down as a sacrifice, 4-3 for the first out of the inning. It's going to advance Chano into scoring position. That's going to bring up the center fielder Kai Nakagawa. Nice play there. Actually, it was the pitcher who had bounced off the mound. I thought it was Daichi Suzuki who made the play. Norimoto was the one who beat him to it. Nice to see Daichi Suzuki back in the lineup if you are an Eagles fan. Lots of changes here this year. Our friend Jerry asks, who y'all like in today's game? Well, it's hard not to like the Buffaloes. Buffaloes are playing great baseball right now, and when we say we like the Buffaloes, it is definitely because they are the first team in the NPB to get to 20 wins this season. As the right-handed hitting Nakagawa waiting on the first offering from Norimoto, who checks the runner at second and now delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is quickly 1-0. Nakagawa on the season is hitting at .290. He's got himself 4 homers and 14 runs batted in. So that is our thought, is the Buffaloes for sure on this one. Although, with that being said, the pitching matchup is, the needle is pointing more toward the Eagles. And maybe on the getaway day game here, that is maybe where you might want to consider. But certainly the Buffaloes are playing good ball right now. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. Troll says, I'm in on the doubleheader if you do one. The first question or the first piece that has to happen here today is we've got to get through this one in under about 3 hours and 15 minutes. And if this game can wrap up in 3:15, then I'll stick around to do a second one. And if it doesn't, then that would be a bit of a challenge. So we got to get this one done in under 3:15. That gives me time to set up and get all the stream done and everything else. As there's another breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-0 in Nakagawa. But I have been considering it tonight, as we said, for last night as well. Troll also said he took the over on this one here tonight, and that may be something to consider as well. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 3-1 to Nakagawa. Alexander Leggett says he's on the pick train too. He made a pick on Living Room Sports channel. Living Room Sports made his picks today. Gavo Gamma is in the house. Is anybody else riding the win with 105 for Orix? It's a good question. Here comes the 3-1 pitch as Norimoto kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-2. One of the best events in between innings that we've witnessed this year was the Yokohama Dana Bay Stars are doing a relay race against the fans. They're cheerleaders, that is. Kind of like how the Freeze does the stuff in Atlanta. And some of those cheerleaders can absolutely motor. It must be a prerequisite that they've got some sprinters in the group. Our friend Troll says he would have took him, but the pitcher is sketchy. Only 4 1/3 innings of work for Kuroki so far this year. Not a whole lot to go off of, and he's also got an ERA of nearly 9. Here's the 3-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Is chopped over on the third base side, but it's going to bounce foul as it is touched by the third baseman Ito, and that's going to keep the count at 3-2 strikes. Jerry asked the question, says, isn't the Orix pitcher trash? Certainly to start this season, he is not putting up, his numbers are not very good. And Kuroki, he's in his 4th year with the ball club. Most of his work that he's had with the Buffaloes has been out of the bullpen. Last year, he was decent for the Buffaloes. He had an ERA of 2.36 in 26 2/3 innings. So interesting to see if they're going to try to stretch him into a starter. As here comes the 3-2 pitch from Norimoto. And it's on its way. It is a breaking ball swung on, and another one tap foul just past the third base coach's box. And the count is going to remain at 3-2. So 3-2 strikes. So 3-2 strikes to Nakagawa. He'll be followed by Yuma Tongu here. Should he not do anything drastic, hit himself into a double play at some variety. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Norimoto kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul over on the first base side. And now we've got a bit of a battle brewing on our hands. This is going to be pitch number 9 of the at-bat coming up. Racing over was Daichi Suzuki as he was trying to make the play, but not able to get it. That ball ended up getting into the Buffalo dugout, as did Suzuki. He ended up down the stairwell into the dugout as well. So 3-2 strikes. As the right-hander Norimoto again works from the set position. He checks the runner at second, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on his tap back to the pitcher. It's off the glove of the pitcher, and everybody's going to be safe. That's the type of baseball right now the Eagles are experiencing. It was a ground ball. It would have been a tough play by Norimoto. It'll probably be an infield single. Chano is going to advance over to third. The Buffaloes now have runners at the corners with one gone. And that is going to bring up Yuma Tongu. We'll see it again. The ball, it was slapped on by the hitter. It was driven into the dirt. Chano did a good piece of running as he was advancing over to third because it looked like the ball was going to be a chopper. And the shortstop had no chance, Yamazaki, to make the play on it as he had to go back to his right side. Troy's in the house tonight. Appreciate you being here. And we also appreciate Alexander Leggett and everybody else that's bounced in here tonight. So runners are at the corners. There's one gone. Yuma Tongo to the plate. He's hitting .329. He's got a homer and 9 RBIs. Gavo says he doesn't care about the pitcher. They got the worst offense in the league. And I have to say that, Gavo, you're absolutely right. There was a fastball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. They really haven't been able to find a combination to get things going. As I was saying earlier in the streams, and also when we did the Eagles before, Asamura and Shimochi were feeding off of each other last year. Everybody around them seemed to be feeding. Tatsumi's not played very well. He's not in the lineup again tonight. Kobakata, who I kind of do like, they've been moving him around. They've been using Yamazaki at short. There's no Igor Emoji in the lineup tonight. There's no Nishikawa in left field. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. Daichi Suzuki has made an appearance, and he's not been a regular in the lineup this year. So when you look at the lineup that they've rolled out this year compared to maybe other years, some of the players that were contributing forces or contributing factors either A, aren't contributing, or B, they're not playing. So I think manager Ishii has got to be on the hot seat for this one. Gavo says, will I be doing a 5 a.m. game? That's Eastern time, or will we be sleeping? A lot of this is going to have to depend on how this game wraps up here. If this game is able to, if we're able to get through this one, I think that I was saying before, we basically have to get to the, what I would call the 1:15 Pacific time mark for me to be able to do it. As we're waiting here on the 2-strike offering to Yuma Tongu. We've had some challenges with the feeds here a little bit, as that pitch missed outside, and the count is 1-2 now to Tongu. Same thing last night. It started off slowly, and then we started to be able to get through it. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined up the middle, and right at the time it lines up the middle, we lose the feed. Thank goodness. It is absolutely frustrating. And maybe I was laughing. Maybe we got to get something. Maybe it's the bootleg internet. Not quite. And so as that ball's hit up the middle, it looks like it's going to be grounded into a double play. We'll get the highlight on that one here. Ball was hit up the middle. It was fielded by Yamazaki. He took it himself as he stepped on the bag at second and threw to first. That's going to be a double play, 6-3 into the books. And that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the first inning, as Nakagawa retired at second and Tongu on the backside. Well, no runs in the inning. There were 2 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through a half inning. It is the Orix Buffaloes nothing, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment, and hopefully we'll be able to sort some of this nonsense out tonight. Our friend Yank says it's a double play, and that's exactly what it was. Hang tight, guys. We'll be right back in just a few. We got a 0-0 ball game. We're going to the bottom of the first. We'll be back in 30. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of the first inning. It is a 0-0 scoreline. As we said tonight, last night we were struggling a little bit with the feeds coming off and on, and tonight it looks like we're back at it again as the first pitch is delivered to Hirota Kobakata, and he swings at it and is popped up down the third baseline, giving chase is Mune, and he's going to make the catch in foul territory. So with one pitch, there is one away. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Yoshi Watanabe. So not quite the start that the Eagles were looking for here in this one. Well, for Watanabe, on the season, he's actually 0 for 3. He's only got 3 at bats. He doesn't have a batting average yet. And his slash line is zeros across the board. So he is going to be here to face Kuroki, batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing pitcher for the Buffaloes as he works to the set position. And again, we go back to this same issue that we've been having where it starts to pause a bit, and there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Either that or we're going to have to get some fire water out and start taking some of that to be able to quell the pain of having this to slow down for us. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. As Kuroki delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The Buffaloes continue their hit parade as they had 2 hits in the first inning. Absolutely unbelievable. Here comes the offering now from the right-hander Kuroki, who checks the sign and now delivers. And there is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded softly over to second, fielded neatly by the second baseman Oshiro, who throws to first. It's going to be a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Yukiya Ito. Well, for Ito, he's batting .275 on the early going. He's got a homer and 1 RBI. Troll says the stream is solid. We've got good old Pacific League TV running through here. I hope it should be solid. Maybe it's the internet or the construction that's going on around us here that's disrupting our beautiful flow. Here comes the first offering to Yukiya Ito. Again, we have ourselves in a pause situation and we have to give ourselves a little bit of frustration here. The first pitch is a fastball that's going to miss outside for ball 1. The count is 1-0 to Ito. Ito batting .275, as we said, with a homer and 1 RBI on the early going. As the right-hander again kicks and delivers, it is a fastball swung on and tapped foul behind home plate, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As Kuroki gets himself a new baseball, he's going to rub it up. I would have to say, as I said earlier last night, in last night's ball game, the manager for the Golden Eagles got to be at a 100% hot seat. He has got to be feeling some pressure here. Here comes the 1-1 offering as he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count is 1-2 to Ito. Not so sure about that one. The catcher didn't exactly do the best job of receiving that. Friend Troy says the Mariners and the Tigers series is coming up there. Yeah, it is. I got buddies of mine who got tickets for the Friday night game between, it'll be Boyd and Gonzalez going head-to-head. Here's the 1-2 pitch from the right-hander Kuroki, and it's a fastball swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. The count remains at 1-2. Our friend Gavo says the Tigers are looking scary. It is Eduardo Rodriguez, who was brilliant again today for the Detroiters, going 7 strong shutout innings. What's also scary is their offense. It's not very good, but they've been playing better lately and putting it all together. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. My next appearance at a big league game, I'm looking at May 31st to see the Mariners and the Yankees. The Yankees have been playing absolutely terrible, but they've been playing better as of late, and I think they did get a win today, so maybe by the time they get to play the Mariners, both those teams will start to fire on all cylinders. Here's the 2-2 pitch. As the right-hander Kuroki kicks and delivers, it is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is now 3-2. Our friend Jerry asked the question. He says, the NPB is the second best league in the world. I would probably have to agree. They say it's kind of close to AAA caliber, and I would say some teams are probably better than that. The difference maker of why I don't think the NPB is on a par with Major League Baseball is this. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. Some people may be upset at that comment. Some people may be disappointed, but the bottom line is They only allow 4 imports on a game sheet and 3 on the field at one time. When you start thinking about teams like the Chicago White Sox, where it looks like it is Team Cuba at times on the field, they can roll sometimes 5, 6, 7 positional players out that are all international players and non-American. So in essence, you're getting the world's best, maybe not necessarily the team's best. And there's a breaking ball that misses inside. That's going to be ball 4. The pitcher, Kuroki, wanted that pitch. It looked pretty good. But Ito is going to get himself a 2-out walk, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Hideto Asamura. But our friend Troll Zaddy says the fans are the best in the NPB, and it's hard to argue with that. They come out in droves. They support their teams. Teams will get pounded. They stay in their seats right till the bitter end, supporting their group. Well, Hideto Asamura steps to the plate. He's hitting .202 with 5 homers and 12 RBIs. He was the one last night who deposited the 2-run shot in the 9th inning to break up the shutout bid by Daiki Tajima, as he stands in here waiting on the first offering from Kuroki, who delivers a split finger pitch that misses down for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Our friend Troll says, what was the fella's name? I believe it was Sean Weinberg, or I think it was Weinberg is the last name. So 1 ball and no strikes. As the right-hander Kuroki kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. That was very generous of him to pop in last night. It was, as we say, we don't ask for stuff. It's always an honor when people do stuff like that, but that was beyond expectation. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Asamura. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Our friend the living room gives a 2 thumbs up to Alexander Leggett. If you guys are interested, be sure to check out the living room's community page, as he's been making the picks on the games. Here comes the 2-1 offering. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats. Actually, it's going to reach the netting to the first base side of home plate. That runs the count to 2-2 on Asamura. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're hoping, if anything, tonight that this game is a more competitive game through 9 innings. As here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Hideto Asamura. The base runner Ito is going to be on the move here as soon as he delivers it to the dish. Alexander Leggett says, yep, Sean was a beauty last night, and it was nice of him to support the channel. Yeah, it works out pretty good. Here comes the 3-2 offering as the right-hander holds set. And now he delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Coming in on it and making the grab is the right fielder Chano, and that is going to do it here for the Eagles in their half of the first inning. Well, there was no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, but there was a runner left aboard. We're now through 1 complete. It is the Eagles nothing and the Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the second inning when we return right after this. It is NPB baseball, Buffaloes and Eagles at its finest. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. The Buffaloes are coming to bat in their half of the second inning. It'll be Yumamune, Marwin Gonzalez, and Kenya Wakatsuki. That is the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the batting order. For Yumamune, he's hitting .254 in the early going. He's got himself a homer and 7 RBIs. Mune has played some pretty decent ball here for the Orix Buffaloes, as he has been flashing the leather over the last couple of seasons, and he's proven to be a steady bat. So he steps up here ready to go. As again, we've said before, we had some challenges last night a little bit where we had some intermittent time with the streams fading in and out, and we're having that again here tonight. I'm not sure what the problem actually is. It's both the A and the B feed, and from our standpoint here, we're in pretty good shape. So we've got 1 ball and 1 strike to Mune as we get back to the action. And there's a fastball swung on at his line right to the third baseman. And that is going to be caught there by Ito. And that is going to retire Mune for the first out of the inning. So if it's going to be like this and behaving like this through the night, we hope not, because last night it was, and then it seemed to sort itself out. So we got through the second or third inning, and then it carried on its way. Of course, by that point in time, the game was already ugly. So 1 gone here, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Marwin Gonzalez, who takes a breaking ball for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Gonzalez homered in last night's game. He's got batting .240 on the year. He's got 6 homers and 12 RBIs. Tonight, he's batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Norimoto, who is ready to deliver here. As he rocks into the motion, and as we said before, it's going to be absolutely frustrating. I'm not sure. Maybe what we should do is another live stream so that you guys can see me fire the computer equipment out the window. That might be one of the biggest hits we would probably have on anything. If we can't keep this, maybe it's the Tohoku staff who doesn't want this to be able to do it. Danny Hudson says, anyone know where to watch the game? Well, we can tell you right here, we're giving you the play-by-play as there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. We're having a problem, too, as it seems to be gassing us from time to time. This for us is absolutely frustrating for back-to-back evenings. Hopefully we can make this play out. And if not, then maybe we got to just reboot our entire system and try it all again at 2 a.m. when one of the other ones come up. So already we've got 2 away here as Gonzalez is down, but I can't tell you how he went down because we lost that part of the feed. And up is coming Kenya Wakatsuki. Wakatsuki had himself a heck of a ball game last night as he had a couple of knocks in last night's game. So he bats here against the right-handed throwing Norimoto, who delivers a fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Wakatsuki. And as I have to leave you guys off of the chat, I go back over to our B feed. As Norimoto rocks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and is lifted foul behind home plate. And the count is now 0-2 to Wakatsuki. Wakatsuki batting from the right side against the right-hander Norimoto here. As we wait here on the offering, and as we said before, it's just frustration after frustration for us here, as we may have to take a slight timeout, but we'll try to give this one here for you. Here's the 0-2 pitch as the right-hander delivers. And we got nothing again here other than freeze frame action. We're going to stay with you here, everybody. We're going to have to do a quick little timeout here, as we're going to have to go and try to fix some stuff here on our backside. So hang tight. We are in the top of the second inning. There was no balls and 2 strikes to Wakatsuki. We're just going to take ourselves a momentary little timeout. We'll be right back here. We'll call it a slight rain delay. Hold tight, everyone. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be moving to the bottom half of the second inning as the Buffaloes went down in their half. We had to make a couple of minor adjustments here, and hopefully we've got everything sorted out. It's going to be Takiro Okajima, Hiroki Shimouchi, and Daichi Suzuki to come to bat, as the Buffaloes were unable to cash a run in the top of the second inning. So hopefully all of our mechanical issues are fixed on our end, as we weren't able to give you guys that. It looked like it was Gonzalez and then Wakatsuki who have been retired. We are in the midst of doing some maintenance stuff, and so hopefully that is going to take care of it for us. And hopefully you guys will be able to enjoy this the rest of the way with us as well. It did look like it was Wakatsuki had flown out to left. It was a fly ball to center by Gonzalez, as that had ended that part of the inning. And so now coming up to bat, as we said, it's going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the batting order, as it's going to be Okajima, Shimouchi, and Suzuki. As the right-hander has completed his tosses, and we're about ready to resume the action. So Okajima batting .277 on the campaign. He's got 2 homers and 8 runs batted in, as the right-hander Kuroki ready to deliver as he works from the set, and he kicks and he fires. It is a fastball that misses down and in for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Okajima batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Kuroki. And here comes the offering as it's on the way, and it is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field, racing back on the warning track, looking up, and this one is gone. It's a home run. Opposite field blast by Takiro Okajima, and that is going to open up the scoring as the Eagles are up 1-0 here. So earlier on, some of our patrons who are listening to the stream here were saying that they thought that the pitching for the Buffaloes was suspect. Well, there you go. It's reared its head as the Eagles have opened up the scoring with a 1-0 lead. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Hiroki Shimouchi. So the Eagles are on the board with the first run of the ball game. Our friend Caleb says the stream messes up for 5 seconds and the Buffaloes are losing. Yeah, there you go. So here we go. Back to the live action as Shimouchi is waiting on the offering from the right-hander, and it's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Shimouchi batting .193. He's got a couple of homers and 10 RBIs. Oh, that's absolute run number 1 there is Caleb, as we are here. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and Shimouchi is now in the hole at 0-2. Mentioned last night, there was talk about in the season that Shimouchi is going to be out of contract at the end of the year, and there was talk that the Eagles have already said publicly they're not bringing him back. A little disappointing for the long-term veteran, as there's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. The Eagles' defense is suspect. The other thing, too, tonight, though, to keep in mind is the Buffaloes' offense is maybe not as strong as it could be on other nights. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul, and the count is 1-2. 3 notable names out of the Buffalo lineup is Yataro Sugimoto hasn't been in the lineup for a couple of weeks. He had 8 home runs on the year when he has missed some time. Tomoya Mori, the number 1 catcher, also not in the lineup tonight, as well as Frank Schwindel. Well, you take those 3 bats out of the lineup, and you have weakened yourself quite a bit. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and that's going to retire Shimouchi for the first out of the inning. So 1 away, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Daichi Suzuki. Well, for Suzuki, he's batting .255 in the early going. He's got a couple of homers and 4 RBIs as he strides to the plate here, batting against the right-hander Kuroki. I have to say, you got to tip your hat to Okajima. That ball was absolutely blasted the other way. Had to put a charge into that one. Our friend Troll Zaddy says, how do I get my hands on the Pokemon Bay Stars jersey? There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Suzuki. I was on the Bay Stars website the other day, and you can get your Bauer jersey. You can get an authentic one for its equivalent of about $450 US. So there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. Replica jerseys are around 125. So no balls and 2 strikes to Suzuki as the right-hander works to the set position. And now he kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball that misses down. A good block there by the catcher Wakatsuki. Our friend Alexander Leggett says, I love how the signs say the Asahi is dry. Not dry, but dry. I've actually had a chance to get to the Asahi Brewery in Tokyo as the 1-2 pitch is on the way. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-2 on Suzuki. And what's cool about it's on the Samita River, and it's about 20 some odd stories tall, and you get a great view of the city at the top, and the admission to the observatory is get you a free beer, or vice versa. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. The count is 3-2, and they serve it to you in a frosted glass, and it is ice cold with ice shavings floating around on the inside. Here comes the 3-2 pitch now to Suzuki. As the right-hander goes into the motion and he delivers. It's a fastball that misses down and in, and that's going to be ball 4 to Suzuki. He's going to get himself a 1-out walk, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Hikaru Oda. Well, for Oda, he's batting .240 on the season. He's got a homer and 1 RBI. One thing we didn't do in the first inning is give you the defensive alignment for the Buffaloes. Our friend Andy Altman-Orr is checking in. He wants to know if Hiroki Sasaki is getting the start tonight. Give you the starters in that game here in just a half a second. I don't think he is, but I'll let you know here in just a moment. Hiroki Sasaki, as far as I know, I think he's going to be out till about the 16th. Like they said, is when maybe his next start will be, or next week, but I'm not 100% sure on that, as time has been called. Not sure what the reason was. The second base umpire, there must have been something onto the field. Starting tight for the Marines, it's going to be Yuji Nishino. He's 3-1. He goes against Kaima Taira, who is 3-0 for the Lions. That will be that matchup there as we're ready to resume the action. As the right-hander holds to the set position, and now Kuroki ready to deliver. He really works slowly. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Oda. As we said, defensively, we didn't do this for the Buffaloes in the first inning. It's Fukuda in left, Nakagawa in center, and Chano in right. Around the horn tonight, it's Tongu at first. At second, it is Oshiro. The shortstop is Kribiashi. And at third, it's Mune with the battery of Kuroki and Wakatsuki. Here comes the 0-1 pitch as the right-hander holds to the belt and now delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded up the middle past the diving second baseman. Oshiro into center field, and stopping at second is going to be Suzuki. Oda's got himself a hit. That puts runners at first and second, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. Our friend BVP in the house tonight. Andy asked the question, is Hiroki hurt? I thought that he was going to maybe skip a start or miss a start. I'm not 100% sure. I thought I read that the other day. BVP back in the house tonight, and we welcome you along here with us. As we said, we've had some challenges here tonight with the stream kicking in and out. Right now we've got it in as Oda is the runner at first and Suzuki is the runner over at second. That's going to bring up Tsuyoshi Yamazaki to the plate, who's batting .248. He's got 1 homer and 7 runs batted in. As we're ready to resume the action here. As the right-hander ready to go. He checks the sign and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Yamazaki. The Eagles open the scoring here with a leadoff home run in the second inning by Takiro Okajima. That is where the score is right now. Remember, we update our ticker at the end of the half innings. So here comes the 0-1 pitch as the right-hander works to the set. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. Our friend BVP in here says that's kind of a bummer. Well, what we were looking to do is maybe going to do a video of us throwing our computer equipment out the window. That might get a whole lot of interesting views. But that's not what we're going to do at the moment here, as it is currently, as we wait again here with the count. Get 1-1 to Yamazaki. And as we said, it's absolute frustration when that happens. And now we've got 2-1 here to Yamazaki. I'm not sure how that is going to work itself out here. We're waiting again, as it looks like we're going to have to be doing here for much of our evening. Waiting on the stuff to get, and I can understand if we weren't paying for it, but we are. So now it's 2-1 to Yamazaki as that pitch misses low. The runner at second is Daichi Suzuki. The runner at first is Oda. It's 2-1 here to the left-handed hitting Yamazaki as he swings at a fastball. This ball is grounded over to second. Fielded neatly by Oshiro. Over to second for one. Back to first. And that is going to be an inning-ending double play, as the Eagles are going to be done here in their half of the inning. 4-6-3 on the double play, as that erases Oda at second. He got 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 2 complete innings. It is the Eagles 1 and the Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the top of the 3rd inning in just a couple moments. And maybe we'll video ourselves throwing some computer equipment out the window. That might be the turning point in this one. We'll be right back in just a few.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 3rd inning, and it is going to be the right-hander Norimoto coming back out for his 3rd inning of work, as he is going to be facing Kotaro Kobayashi, Koji Oshiro, and the top of the order Chano. Our friend of the living room says he should refresh if you can. We've been doing that multiple times on both of the, well, maybe not both of the streams, certainly on one of the streams. But it is making no such difference, as it is going to be one of those nights that just have that feeling. So, and that is going to bring up the Kobayashi to the plate, as he got the start tonight as the shortstop. As I said, maybe what we want to do is start firing some equipment out the window. That's the way it's going to work. Gavo says, do they cancel games in this league? I've been waiting on the 2nd inning for the Eagles reserve for almost 2 hours. Yes, they do. They will cancel some of that stuff. Absolutely. There are games that can get rained out even in the lower levels, or in the farm level, I should say. And that is where we wait, as we have the always popular spinning circle. Hopefully the Pacific League gets their stuff straightened out. They've been usually generally pretty good. As here's the first offering to Kobayashi. It's a fastball swung on. It is hit slowly up the middle. It is fielded on the run by the second baseman, Asamura, who throws to first, and that is going to retire Kobayashi on a ground out 4-3. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Koji Oshiro. As I mentioned before, the Buffalo's here with what I would call a more depleted or less than regular starting lineup tonight. Could play, obviously could balance this out a little bit. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Oshiro. When you look at the offense of the Buffaloes, it is very, very potent, but when you take those three bats away, Mori, Schwindel, and Sugimoto, it makes them a more human type team. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Camping out underneath it is Okajima. He's going to make the catch. That's going to retire Oshiro for the second out of the inning. So 2 away, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Tokumasa Chano. Well, for Chano tonight, he led off the ball game with a base hit on the first pitch of the ball game. It was a ball that short hopped the left fielder, and they had to go straight away to the VAR, and it was overturned as the Buffaloes thought it did bounce in for a base hit, and it sure was. He's raised his average to .314 on the year. He's got no homers and 8 RBIs. As the right-hander Norimoto delivers a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So deep breaths here, as it seems like we may have settled a little bit. As the pitch is on the way, it's a split-finger pitch swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Dora says, is it over for the Buffaloes? Good man. It's only in the 3rd inning. It's a long way to go in this one. But they aren't going to have to find a way to get Norimoto out of there and get into the Eagle bullpen, which is not very good. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Chano is down on strikes. He's gone for out number 3. And that will do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the 3rd inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It is the Eagles 1 and the Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action. Appreciate you guys for being here with us.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. Be sure after the game to go check him out. Let us know what you think. He's got all kinds of crazy things like Money Monday, Takeover Tuesday, Saturday morning cartoons, and the Sunday shoutouts. We'll be back in 30 with all the action. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. It'll be the top of the order coming up for the Golden Eagles. That means it's going to be Kobakata, Watanabe, and Ito. I'm almost thinking a strategy is in order for manager Ishii. He might want to employ the Billy Martin strategy. Billy Martin, I believe, was either with the Tigers or the Oakland Athletics, and the team was not hitting very well. He just put all the names into a hat and started drawing them out. Threw that out as the batting order, and that might be up for the Eagles, as their team he's not been able to find a combination that's been unlocked to give them a potency in their lineup, as the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside for ball 1. So ball and no strikes to Kobakata. I am contemplating that second game tonight, but if the feed is going to be anything like this one, we may call it an early night. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Hiroto Kobakata. He's batting here from the left side against the right-handed throwing pitcher Kuroki, who kicks and delivers. There is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Our friend Troll says the Blue Jays have good value unless Bo Bichette's playing shortstop and throws it into the stands to end the ball game. As there's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander now kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. It is trapped into the dirt, and tagging Kobakata is the catcher Wakatsuki, and that is going to do it here as Kobakata is gone for the first out of the inning. 1 out, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Yoshi Watanabe. Absolutely frustrating there. You have a good start to the ball game, and then everything all goes sideways, but now it looks like we're finally setting in a little bit. And hopefully that is the case from here on out. We can get that settled in and able to join you guys in the chat room as I've been doing here more. There's a fastball that take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Watanabe. Watanabe tonight grounded out to second his first time up. 0 for 4 on the season. As the right-hander now kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This is line foul into the seats, and the count is now 0-2. Some of our guys that are here, where there's a fella in Germany who is a tennis coach. His name is Schrambini, Yannick Schrambini, and he has a channel. He has coached a number of players that are on the WTA tour, as well as also in the ATP. As I see some people are talking about channels and chats, there's a fastball that misses up, and the count is 1-2. Anyways, he has some interesting insight on the tennis world. As it might be, he does some sort of play-by-play. He does some live streaming. There's the 1-2 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. But he also talks about things that you don't always see, even in baseball, where players are, how injured they are, how much they're playing through being hurt, that they're still rolling themselves out every day. Same thing in the tennis world. Sometimes we don't always know about the injuries, or even the ones that they pick up sometimes during the matches. And that can stem the tide and turn the tide in different ways. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded off the pitcher. It goes over to Kobayashi at short, but he's not going to be able to make the play. That ball was a comebacker. It hit the pitcher. And as I said, it went over to the shortstop area where Kobayashi played it and was not able to retire the batter runner Watanabe here. So Watanabe's going to get his first hit of the season. And that's not maybe the way he envisioned it. It was a comebacker right back, and it hit the pitcher as he put his glove down. It looked like it deflected off his glove and then went through his legs. So that puts Watanabe at first base. And that's going to bring Yukiya Ito to the plate, as Ito walked his first time up, and he was left stranded there in the first inning. So 1 gone and the runner at first. And the pitch is a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Yeah, betting on tennis and even the way that the games are played out, I wouldn't touch any of that stuff. That's not my forte, but I can understand how it could possibly frustrate people. Unless the person's name is Federer or Djokovic in their primes, I would stay right away from everything else. Here's the 0-1. It's a fastball that misses outside. The count now goes to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike it is. It's a little bit wild there for a bit in the stream. We had a pile of people come on in, and we had a bunch of people leave, probably when we were struggling with our own feed here. But we thank everybody for hanging in here with us tonight. As they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Watanabe. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Ito. There is 1 gone here in the third inning. That was the leadoff strikeout by Kobakata. Watanabe reached base on the ball hit off the pitcher's leg. So here comes the offering now from the right-hander Kuroki, who holds set. And now he delivers. It's a fastball. It's taken for a called strike. The count is 1-2. For those of us who joined us earlier in the week when we did the game between the Bay Stars, Yokohama Dana Bay Stars, and the Yomiuri Giants. They were talking about Trevor Bauer. It looks like Bauer is going to make his scheduled start on the 16th of May against the Hiroshima Carp, another rematch against the Carp, who they played the first time. But what's interesting about that is that they were saying that about Bauer holding runners, that they were running on him as well as hitting balls into the seats. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. What's funny, on the one pitch that I was able to get my watch out on and get his time to the plate, he was 118 on my watch, which is pretty quick. But that being said, that was only one clocking on the right-hander when he was pitching for the Bay Stars. So 2 strikes it is here. As the pitch is a breaking ball, it is lifted into left field. This ball is going to get down for a base hit. And that is going to be a single here for Ito, and that's going to advance Watanabe over to second. And the Eagles have something brewing here in their half of the inning as they've got runners at first and second. And it's going to bring Hideto Asamura to the plate. Our friend Troll Zaddy says, I love the American commentary with low crowd volume. Yeah, I was actually, one of the upgrades to the channel is we're going to get ourselves a audio mixer so I can maybe audio mix some sound in the background when we do get the base hits. Either that or I can get the the Hanshin Tiger Thunder sticks out that I've got on my bookshelf here and start snapping them around for you, but it will only be one thunder stick. It would make a whole lot of noise. Well, the conference to the pitcher is over as Kuroki has had the visit from the pitching coach, and it's going to bring Asamura to the plate. Asamura is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to right field his first time up. As the right-hander works to the set. Our friend Gavo says, we weren't wrong. This pitcher's not very good. There's a split-finger pitch swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Plug Boy Johnny comes in and says Buffaloes are going to win, but that's usually what Plug Boy says when he visits the stream. Thank you for stopping in tonight, big fella. So no balls and 1 strike to Asamura. As the right-hander waiting here on the offering from the righty Kuroki, and there's a fastball that misses down in the dirt, and the count is now even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. 54 pitches already for the right-hander. It's the same number that he has on the back of his jersey. Vertically Sports says, just joined. What's the situation? Looking like right now, he's got money on the over 5 runs on the 3rd inning. Oh boy. Well, you've got runners at first and second and 1 gone here. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Asamura. Asamura is somebody who can deposit the ball in the seats, as we witnessed last night. He has that type of pop in the stick. Our friend Jesus Malverde says, you might be right, Plug Boy Johnny, that the Buffaloes may win. But what has to happen here is they've got to be able to chase Norimoto, in my opinion. The starter, Kuroki, has to keep them in check within a couple of runs. And if it gets to the battle of the bullpens, the Buffaloes, the needle will shift in their favor. As there's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 2-2. You think about it, last night the Eagles had to go to the bullpen early as the starting pitcher Kishi left with an injury. They had to go to a number of their arms last night. And then, of course, the Buffaloes starting pitcher Tajima went all the way into the 9th inning, 8 1/3, before his night was over. So the Buffaloes have a rested pen. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Asamura is down on strikes for out number 2, and that is going to leave it all up to the center fielder, Takiro Okajima. Troll says he can't find anything on the Baystars site. If you hear anything big, Big Dog, let me know. Troll, what you, I believe they're going to wear it sometime coming up here, and I think when they do, then that's when they will push that product out. But I'll do a double check for you, maybe in between games if I come back and do a second one. And if I got the time, I can maybe give you an answer on that, because you're right. They did make that announcement. I think I saw it on their Instagram page. So Two gone here as Okajima comes to bat. It is Watanabe at second, Ito the runner at first, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Okajima has accounted for the only run in this game. He hit the home run to lead off the second inning as he had given the 1-0 lead to the Eagles, as it's 1 ball and no strikes. He did go the other way. It was a great swing. Caleb says still 1-0, but they are threatening the Golden Eagles. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's tapped slowly down the first base line, and that's going to roll foul, and the count goes even at 1-1. Our friend Caleb in the house here, and haven't done any major league games at all this year. We have done some in the past. We probably did about 50 last year, and we're going to try to add some in here coming up. So hopefully you guys can join us for the call on some of those. So 1 ball and 1 strike as Okajima here is waiting on the offering from the right-hander Kuroki, who gets his sign from his catcher Wakatsuki. He checks the runner at second, and now he delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. It's a good stop there by the catcher. And the count now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike to Okajima. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As it is absolutely unbelievable here. As we said before, we were struggling with our streams here with the ability to get the stuff tonight, and it's been in and out. Lately, more in than out. As we are at 2 balls and 1 strike. And that looks like it's going to be it. For the Eagles, they weren't able to get the run. We missed that final out as we had frozen up yet again. Okajima is done to end the inning. So there was no runs in the inning. There were a pair of hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the top of the 4th inning. It is the score. The Eagles won. The Buffaloes no score. Stick around with us tonight, everybody, and at least we can hopefully entertain you in some capacity every once in a while. This thing is moving in and out. We'll be right back in the top of the 4th inning. Hang tight. We'll try to get it sorted and stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We got a 1-0 lead here for the Eagles as we're moving to the top of the 4th inning. And that last half inning, it was the inning ended, and it was 1-0 as the score. They ended up walking Okajima, and then we weren't able to get the final piece to that as it's just been cutting in and out, has been the stream. It's a little bit frustrating here, and that is, I guess, what you get. For those of our American friends who are listening in, we were saying how you get some of the streams. There's been some different ways. If people are looking up in the chat, there's been some suggestions of where you can get some of those offerings. Another one you can do also is if you've got a VPN, DAZN Japan is carrying the games. So Hiroki Shimauchi had come up to the plate with the bases loaded, and with 2 gone, the pitcher Kuroki was working, and as we said before, he has been very, very slow, as that pitch had missed down to him as to Shimauchi. And they were looking to pile on some runs here. But that hasn't been the case for them, certainly in this one. We'll try to get you the updates as we move along. As we did say, we had Shuhei Fukuda at the plate in the 4th inning, and he, against Norimoto, grounded out to second base to begin the 4th inning for the Buffaloes. And it's bringing Kai Nakagawa to the plate. So with Nakagawa, he is in this one here he's 1 for 1 tonight. He's got a single in one trip, and he swung at a fastball and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to him. We'll try to get you that last out of the last half inning on how Shimochi ended up out, because it is a 1-0 Eagles lead. Here comes the offering here to Nakagawa. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded softly up the middle. Yamazaki fields it. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Nakagawa on a ground out 6-3 for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away here in the top of the fourth. That is going to leave it all up to the first baseman, Yuma Tongu. And it was Yuma Tongu who ended that last half inning. He took the ball. It was a hard hit ball by Shimochi. He had grounded out to the first baseman for the third out of the inning, that last half inning to end the inning. But as we said, it's been one of those nights where we have struggled on and off with the feeds. So hopefully at this point, it'll be giving us nothing but good stuff the rest of the way. There is a first pitch fastball delivered to Tongu. It's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Yuma Tongu. There's another breaking ball delivered from Norimoto, and that's taken for a called strike, and the count quickly goes to 0-2. If anything from Norimoto, this would be the night for him to stop the bleeding. I would assume tomorrow it's going to be Masahiro Tanaka, and maybe they'll be able to get themselves onto some type of roll. And there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and that is going to do it here as Tongu is down on strikes. That's a quick inning for Norimoto. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the fourth inning. Your score is the Eagles 1 and the Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this. Hopefully this will stabilize for us and you guys can enjoy it all with us. CV Baseball Card Collector in the house, welcome you as well. But we'll be back in just a few right after this. Welcome back, everybody, and it is what we anticipated. It is a pitching change, as it's going to be Ryo Yoshida coming into the ball game to replace the starter. So that is certainly where we're at here. Our friend Daniel asked, can the Buffaloes win? 100% they can, because now that starter Hiroki is done for the night, and it is going to be Ryo Yoshida coming in. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in 30, and we'll get you all the information when we return. Welcome back, everybody. Ryo Yoshida coming into the ball game to replace the starter, and that is end of the night for Kuroki. So Yoshida in, Kuroki out. Yoshida on the season working his 8th appearance. He has worked 5 1/3 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, 3 walks. He has struck out 4. He's only conceded 1 earned run, and he's got an ERA of 1.69. And that is where we stand here. So it is going to be him in place of Yuta Kuroki. And so he is going to be facing Daichi Suzuki, Hikaru Oda, and Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. And the first pitch is taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Suzuki tonight walked his first time up, but he was stranded at second back in the second inning. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's tapped foul behind home plate. And the count now goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Suzuki in the hole here, batting from the left side against the right-hander Yoshida, as he is ready to go back to work. And the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball that Suzuki feels that he's been hit with. The umpire has called time, and it looks like he's going to agree with them. Let's see if he is going to get the base as well. And again, of course, as soon as that happens, that's where everything locks up and freezes again. So he has been hit by the pitch, has been Suzuki. He is going to be awarded first base, and that is going to bring up the catcher, Hikaru Oda. So if you're a manager or a coach, there's nothing more that drives you insane. What would drive me insane is the hit batter here of Suzuki with 2 strikes on the hitter. You've got him at 0-2, and then you plug the guy. That's going to drive you absolutely nuts. Well, Suzuki is on his way to first base, and that is going to bring Oda to the plate. And of course, while we are here with you, it is the frustrating part of the feed going in and out tonight. So if we do a second game, we are going to try to make some adjustments, so to speak, as it does look like that Suzuki has been advanced over to second, more than likely by a sacrifice bunt. And that is going to bring up the shortstop, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. I would think that Oda has moved him along in that regards, but we don't know that for sure. Yamazaki coming to the plate. He grounded into a double play his first time up, as he bats here against the right-hander Yoshida, and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that spiked up to the plate, and holding at second base is the base runner Suzuki. So Suzuki, the runner at second, 1 ball and no strikes to Oda. As we said before, we got everything going on. We've got Chrome, we've got, you name the browser, all the browsers going, whatever it might be to get the job done. And nothing is helping us out here. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-0 on Oda. Or check that, 2-0 on Yamazaki. As we said, I believe that Oda probably sacrificed him over into second base, but we'll have to get that for you to confirm. Julian says, how many outs are there? There's 1 gone here. We're back into this struggle again where we have 2 balls and no strikes on the hitter with 1 gone here. As we give you the match progress as well. And the pitch here ready to come on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is tapped slowly over towards second, fielded by the second baseman Oshiro, who underhands it to first, but it's not going to be in time. Oh boy, I wonder if we're going to have a look at this one. Yamazaki got down the line in a big hurry, and he looks like he may have beat it out. Oshiro had fielded the ball, underhanded it to the first baseman Yumatangu, but they say that the batter runner has beaten it out. We don't see any sign yet from the manager in the dugout. Oh, boy. And by the way, that sacrifice bunt was the catcher to first base. And as we see the replay, I have to agree. I don't think he beat it out, or I think he did beat it out. So that's going to be an infield hit here for Yamazaki. He's aboard. It's advanced Suzuki over third with 1 gone. And that is going to bring up the top of the order in Hirota Kobakata. Well, keep our eyes here on a potential squeeze. Kobakata knows how to handle the bat. I would not be surprised if they throw over to first base here. And just as everything else has been going here tonight, here comes what we call the big freeze again. As Yoshida is checking the runner over at first. As we're ready to resume the action. So as we're waiting for the resuming of the action here, as Kobakata is at the plate, we have to check in here just a little bit, and we'll see what we have. It looks like they have advanced the runner over to second. They've got runners at second and third, but we have to see how that's going to go, as we did have the pause in place. And not only that, it seems like when the pause is in place, we're not able to get everything to come back and have a look. So I'm not sure how the runner got over to second. But Kobakata has been retired. Absolutely frustrating. But second and third it is, and Kobakata is down. That's going to bring up Yoshi Watanabe to the plate. It looked like there it was, the pitch was in the dirt to Kobakata, and that allowed the runner to take second base. It looks like a stolen base for Yamazaki. So the manager, Ishii, looking here, and I'm not sure why or how the batter, Kobakata, went down. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Kobakata, and actually looks like as he's hurting, he's limping back to the dugout. I'm not sure what to say to you guys tonight. As I said, we'll try to grind this baby out. I remember last year we were doing the game, and it ended up being a Roki Sasaki perfect game, and we hung in with it all the way to the end. I think Kobakata has hurt himself here. I think we're going to have ourselves a pinch hitter in the middle of an at-bat. That's what we're waiting for right now. Our friend King asks, what's the score? That's why we have the ticker running across the bottom. Our friend Jerry says he's lost now. We're lost now, too. Eagles are up 1-0. It's in the bottom of the 4th. And it is Kobakata was limping off the field. He's going to be replaced by Nishikawa with a 1 ball and no strike count. So we got runners at second and third. We're here in the top of the 4th inning. The batter, Nishikawa, has come in here mid-at-bat to replace Kobakata. And he is ready to face the offering here from the Righty Yoshida. Welcome to the ball game. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 1-1. So right in the middle of the at-bat, Nishikawa comes in. Kobakata had limped off the field. I wonder what happened to him. And we got Sean Weinberger back in here. We welcome you in here. We got 1 ball and 1 strike on the hitter. There is 1 away. Runners are at second and third. And Sean, we were saying tonight that we're so disgusted with the feed, we're thinking of firing the computer equipment out the window. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Our friend Daniel says, someone just update when the Buffaloes are up to bat or when the Eagles get 3 outs. Well, we're going to find out here in a minute. 2 balls and 1 strike it is to Nishikawa, who's come in the middle of the at-bat to pinch hit for Kobakata. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike. So Yoshida getting himself into trouble here. So Jerry says he thought the bases were loaded. Well, stay tuned and listen up, Jerry. We'll be able to help you out here. So 3 balls and 1 strike. As it looks like Kobakata's night is over. I wonder if he's going to be injured or why he left the game with that 1-0 count. And the pitch is on the way. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nishikawa. Waiting on deck is the right fielder, Yoshi Watanabe. Well, Yoshida trying to dig himself out of the hole. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's 1 gone here in the 4th inning. He is on in relief of the starter, Yuta Kuroki. And the 3-2 pitch is ready to be offered up here to Nishikawa. And the pitch is on the way. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is hit foul over toward the third base dugout. And that's going to keep the count at 3-2. Nishikawa originally was with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. He came over last season. He was I guess what you would call him, the player of the month in the NPB for the month of March, April. Had an absolutely fantastic month for the Eagles. And then right after that, everything was on a slippery slope downhill, and he's not been the same player since. So 3 balls and 2 strikes as we're ready for the payoff pitch once again from the right-hander Yoshida. As he holds to the set position and now delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses down and in. That's going to be ball 4. It looks like almost in some ways the way the umpire reacted as if he lost the count, or at least that Nishikawa didn't know what the count was, but he is going to be aboard with a walk. That's going to load the bases. It's going to bring the pitching coach out of the dugout. So we've got the bases loaded with 1 gone. We've got a conference of Buffaloes on the mound. So now the bases are loaded with 1 gone. And that conference is now over, and we're going to resume the action here. Our friend Jaden says, how long until the fourth quarter ends? It seems like it. If we were playing quarters, that's exactly what it feels like. How long until the fourth quarter is over? But that conference is over, and now we are ready to resume the action. As Yoshida is going to be facing Watanabe. Watanabe is 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. Interesting, the Buffalo's defense is going to be all in here on the grass. Not even the middles are in double play depth. And one would have thought that they might have stayed in double play depth to try to get the batter runner Watanabe. On the season, Watanabe is 1 for 5. He's 1 for 2 in this one. He's got the single and 2 trips. He got the start in right field tonight. And here's the first pitch from Yoshida. It's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Yoshida, or to Watanabe from Yoshida. Ecstasy says Japan takes 30 minutes almost every inning. They don't have the clock like the MLB. Well, generally speaking, some of the nights, depending upon who's pitching, you can really see some quick action. Unfortunately, tonight is not that night. Everything just seemed like it is at a grinding halt. Here comes the 0-1 as Yoshida delivers. It's a fastball that just misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1 on Watanabe. The runner at third is Suzuki. The runner at second is Yamazaki. The runner at first is Nishikawa. Bases are full. 1 gone here in the last half of the fourth inning. Eagles are clinging to a 1-0 lead. They are looking to blow this apart here. As we said, the pitcher Yoshida is on in relief of Kuroki. And here comes the 1-1 as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-1. My friend Daniel says, Famous Buffaloes, please. I got my house on it. Well, as we said before, certainly the night tonight could be the night with the lineup that they rolled out, missing Mori, Schwindel, and Sugimoto. It could be a chance for the Buffaloes to take one here. Our friend Caleb is talking about he's not very good at betting, and Troy says, fade yourself. There you go. Or maybe ask Caleb what he's betting and everybody else goes around with it. Here's the 2-1 pitch as the right-hander Yoshida kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's lifted foul over behind the third base dugout, and the count is 2-2 to Watanabe. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Just as a reminder, we're going to do some stuff, and if we can wrap this game up by 1:15 Pacific, we may bring a second game back later tonight. So if you're around, you're more than welcome to join us for that one. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is to Watanabe as he waits here on the offering from Yoshida, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted down the left field line, but it's going to slice foul into the seats. It's going to keep the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Gavo Gamma says they barely ever sweep anybody. They usually go 2-1 a lot. And in also fairness, this is the getaway game. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. With 1 gone here, the bases are still loaded and the infield is still in. As the left-handed hitting Watanabe is in a battle here with the right-hander Yoshida. Manager Ishii is looking on here. And now Yoshida steps off the mound, and we're going to reset and do this all over again. Yoshida leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher Wakatsuki. And here comes the 2-2 offering as he comes to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and now the count goes to 3-2. Well, there's nowhere to put Watanabe. The bases are full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. As we are waiting here on the offering, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And this game here, this is where we were laughing about before, saying about the Major League pitch clock. This could probably be a situation they could. It's just taking forever between the pitches. Yoshida waiting here on the batter Watanabe to get in the box. Here comes the 3-2. As he holds, he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is grounded through the 4-hole, past the diving second baseman Oshiro into right field. That's going to get a pair. Red ball's been cut off. Coming in to score is Suzuki and Yamazaki in to follow. And that is going to put Nishikawa over to second with the base hit by Watanabe. 3-0 here for the Eagles. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, Yukiya Ito. Our friend Arizona Cardinals says going to take him down in the next inning too. Well, I guess we'll find out about that. That's the second hit of the ball game for Watanabe. Only 6 at-bats all year, and he's now got 2 hits, and they're both coming this game. So he has been some instant offense for the Golden Eagles. He gets a round of applause from the starter Norimoto. And they're not done yet. So Yukiya Ito striding to the plate. Ito is officially 1 for 1 tonight. He's got a single and a walk in his 2 trips. Right-hander against the right-hander. Yoshida checks the runner and delivers. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. I will say this, that you probably are going to have to think about the bullpen here sooner than later. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And on top of that, as there's a fastball again delivered, and it swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ito. Not only thinking about going to the bullpen, but they don't want this game to rip apart too soon. You got to hang around here because you want to get into, if anything, you want to get into the Eagles bullpen. So here comes the 1-2 offering, as we said, and it was fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said before, it's been a frustrating night from our end tonight here, as we just can't seem to get over the hump of some of this stickiness that we're getting here from our good friends at the Pacific League. A beautiful sunny day in Tohoku. Not a lot of wind either. Great day for baseball, but not a good day for the good old transmission. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up on the right side of the infield. The infield fly rule is in effect. It's caught by Oshiro, and that is going to retire Ito for the second out of the inning. 2 away, and that's going to leave it all up to the second baseman, Hideto Asamura. So for Asamura, he is 0 for 2 in this one. He has flown to right and struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. 3-0 ball game here for the Golden Eagles. But he is coming to bat here with a spot to be able to pad the lead. He did homer in last night's ball game to give the Golden Eagles their only 2 runs. He's got that type of juice in the stick. So here's the first pitch to Asamura. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Our friend Gavo says, not looking good for the Buffaloes out there, but there's a lot of baseball left. That is for sure. As the pitch is no balls and 1 strike, as Yoshida holds. Checks the runner and now delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and it is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate. Now Asamura is in the hole at 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes it is. Just a couple of programming notes. We are going to be back on the airwaves on Saturday and Sunday. And it'll be 10 p.m. Pacific time, or 1 a.m. Eastern. If you would like to join us for more action, and that action will be, we're going to be calling these same Buffaloes here again. They are going to be playing the Saitama Cebu Lions. Check that it's going to be the Eagles and the Lions this weekend. Even there, we're not always there. So as we said, no balls and 2 strikes to Asamura. As we're waiting here on the feed, and of course our feed has gone sideways yet again. Unfortunate here tonight. That's just the way it goes. And it looks like we've already skipped ahead as we're going to be going to the 5th inning here as we can't quite get this one finished. We'll see as this wraps up here. And we're already moving to the 5th inning as it's going to be Yuma Mune coming up. So we'll try to get to the live action if we can, as Asamura had lifted a fly ball into deep right center field. That ball was hauled in by the right fielder, Chano, to end the inning. And we're going to be going to the top of the 5th inning. We're going to try to sort out our feeds here again. As I said to you, if we end up calling the game later tonight, we're going to have to make sure we're on song. And it's going to be Norimoto coming in here. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action. We always say whether you listen live or on delay, this one here is listening live at a delay as we're struggling with our feeds pretty much throughout the evening. We'll be back in 30 seconds, and hopefully we can figure this all out. We'll be right back, guys. Welcome back, everybody. How much have we been struggling here? Well, we've got Yuma Mune, who had a base hit to lead off the 5th inning, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Marwin Gonzalez. And so that is kind of where we're set here as that pitch is down, and it squirts away from the catcher Oda, and it's going to advance Mune over to second on the wild pitch. So that is 2 balls and 1 strike on Marwin Gonzalez. So to get you up to speed, Mune is the runner at second. There's nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning with Marwin Gonzalez batting. And we, again, are in a situation where it is, the feed has gone sideways for us a little bit, but we're back again at it. I will have to either shut down our entire system in the in-between if we call the late night game. I'm looking at the possibility of the Marines and the Lions, 2 a.m. Pacific or 5 a.m. Eastern. So we'll see how that is. It's completely and absolutely annoying. Here comes the 2-1 to Gonzalez. It's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is now 3 balls and a strike. Marwin Gonzalez homered in last night's game. He's got 6 homers and 12 RBIs on the season. He has been instant offense at times for the Buffaloes. As the right-hander Norimoto ready to go again. Our friend Matthew says the Buffaloes are 6-1 against the Eagles. A lot of Buffalo bettors in the house tonight is for sure. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Gonzalez. There's one thing that we may do on the in-between innings, or in between the 5th and the 6th inning, is we do have an extended break. And what we might do is when they do the extended innings break, we may end up just shutting down our entire system and then trying to give it a full system reboot, which means we may lose you guys for a little bit. And then not only do we come back, then we also see that, you've got Yuma Mune. Even when we try to get some of these stuff back in, it's been a little bit of a challenge in this one, as we just can't seem to be able to get the live to take hold for us, as Gonzalez batting at 3-1, and then everything pauses up. But it's got to be something with the Golden Eagles. I got to think that is definitely the case. As the 3-2 pitch is delivered to Gonzalez, and that pitch is down, it's going to be ball 4. So he ended up walking That put runners at first and second, and it brings up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. So the Buffaloes have runners at first and second with nobody out. The catcher, Oda, is out to the mound to talk to the right-hander, Norimoto. And as we said here, we're struggling to be able to keep up with everything here because that is just the way things are kind of operating. So the runner is at second is Mune, the runner at first, Gonzalez. And Wakatsuki striding to the plate. So the Buffaloes are trying to keep themselves in this ball game. One would have to think with the runner at second and nobody out, there's some crazy statistic. When that happens, they usually score over 50% of the time. So right now it's a coin flip for you. So here comes Wakatsuki to the plate. Norimoto checks the runner at second, and he squares the bunt, and he takes the pitch up high for a ball, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Wakatsuki. I'm not sure if I'm the Buffaloes, if he's the guy that I want bunting over, because Kotaro Kobayashi is waiting on deck. It's not like he's exactly a masher at the plate, because Oshiro would be the 9-hole hitter, and it's the same thing for him. There's nobody really here that puts the fear into driving runs in. Here's the pitch. They do a spaghetti move, and getting back to the bag at second base is Mune. So 1 ball and no strikes it is here to Wakatsuki. Only 52 pitches so far for the righty Norimoto. He has been very effective. They've not been able to work the count here, as I'm sure they would like, being the Buffaloes. So here comes the 1-0 as it's on the way. They squared a bunt, and it's bunted down the third base line, but it's just going to roll foul. That's going to keep the count or run the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend Brian Sofresh asked the question. There's a ticker at the bottom of the screen that runs across with the score line for you, Brian. So here comes the 1-0 offering as the right-hander holds set. And now a kick and deliver. It's bunted down the third baseline, and this one's going to roll foul again. It's going to keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. .53 pitches now here for the Eagles right-hander, who's ready to deliver again. As he works to the belt in the set position, they squares again, they pull back, and that's going to miss upstairs. So we've got 2 balls and a strike here. As time has been called. As we said before, it's going to be after the 5th inning, the bottom half of the 5th, we're going to have to go and do a full system reboot and see if that works. Because I don't think I could do a double header tonight with the game moving in and out as it's been doing here tonight. It's been absolutely tricky for us. So here comes the Morimoto back to the hill again. And the other problem is what's been happening is the feed will repeat itself. So we got to keep an eye on what's happening. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike here. Maybe the Balluna Dome will be a little bit different. So the right-hander working to the set position as he holds at the belt. He checks the runner at second. That runner is Mune. They square again to bunt. This time it's down. It's a good one. It is fielded by the pitcher, Norimoto. He throws to first. That's going to retire Wakatsuki. That's going to be a sacrifice, 1-4 on the putout. Wakatsuki gone for the first out of the inning. Mune advances over to third. Gonzalez moves over to second. And that is going to bring up the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. So Kobayashi coming to the plate with runners at second and third and 1 gone. Looking to try to get the Buffaloes on the board. Kobayashi tonight 0 for 1. He's grounded out to second his first time up. He's seen his average dip to 227 on the year. So Norimoto ready to go back to work. This is the first jam he's been in here tonight. As he's ready to go back to work, and we get the freeze on again. This is absolutely incredible. And as I said, this has got to be full on the Pacific League, one would have to think. And there's Struff tonight. Here comes the offering as the pitch is on the way. It is a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Kobayashi. Because it's not just on one, it's on multiple. Friend Caleb said he wouldn't bunt in that situation. We'll see what happens. Kentaro Kobayashi, no balls and 1 strike. As we wait here. And as I said, the frustrating part about this, everybody, is that it's just moving in and out. No matter what we do, we've looked at multiple different feeds, whether it be above board feeds, off board feeds. It's all the same right now. Nothing is seemingly cooperating at that level. I don't know if anybody out there has got stuff differently than us, but it's just been a slog fest tonight. So here's the 0-1 to the right-handed hitting Kobayashi, and it's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. I wish I had better news for everybody, but I really don't. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-handed hitting Kobayashi waits. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted, and it's caught by the shortstop, or by the second baseman Asamura, as he's drifting into the outfield grass. They throw back to second base. They're going to want to take a look and see if they've doubled off Marwin Gonzalez. I don't know if he has or hasn't. They've called him safe, but let's see if they're going to go and take a look at this. It was a swing right off the end of the bat. It was a looping liner. Nice play by Asamura, who threw back to the bag. And Norimoto, his biggest cheerleader, thought he may have had the out. But no, he didn't. That's going to be 2 away here. The runners are going to stay at second and third, and it's going to bring up the second baseman, Koji Oshiro. That was a big-time play by the second baseman, Asamura. And as we do that again, we get back into the freeze mode. So as I say, if we're freezing and the stream is still running, and that's got to be on the Pacific League for sure. So that brings Oshiro to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He is 3 for 7 on the season. But it is one of those ones that it's just the whole night long. There's not a darn thing we can do about it other than to grin and bear it. Or maybe wear it. And I don't know what we're going to get on that one, but all I know is that we've got Asamura getting high fives as he runs off the field, because the inning is going to be over. It looks like we just got a bunch of circles around the board as there's high fives all the way around. It looks like the inning is going to be over. We're going to have to get you the update on this as it comes available to us. But that is your scoreline at the end of 4.5. It is 3-0 for the Eagles. Don't ask me how the one was finished, although Caleb Atkins says it was a hard hit grounder to first. I guess that's what it is. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back. The good news is the T-shirt Gunna cheerleaders are casting perfectly, according to Alexander Leggett. Well, with that in mind, let's go look at some cheerleaders. We'll be right back in a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be moving ourselves to the bottom half of the 5th inning. It is a 3-0 scoreline for the Golden Eagles. As I said tonight, we've been struggling with everything we have here. So After this half inning, normally what we do is we put everything on the loop and then we have the extended innings break. And what we're going to do is we are actually going to do a complete and utter shutdown. And maybe it's us. I don't know how everybody else is doing with their individual feeds, but ours is absolutely atrocious. And so all I can do is do a complete and utter shutdown, and hopefully that will solve the cure. So hopefully we're able to do some of that there. Our friend Gavo says he's glad he can listen with this. We appreciate you, Gavo, for being here with us. Coming up to bat, it's going to be Hiroki Shimochi, and then it is going to be Daichi Suzuki, as Okajima is already gone for the first out of the inning. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Shimochi. So no balls and one strike. As we said, it's the best I can do here without having to interrupt anything else. Hopefully we can be able to get this all sorted out. There's a fastball swung on, and this is lifted foul. And the count is now 0-2 to Shimochi. It is Jarrell Cotton who is on in relief here, the former Oakland A and Minnesota Twins. So Cotton on in relief. And that is where we stand here. The first out was a ground out 5-3, by the way, for Okajima, as he was retired for the first out. Nice play by Yuma Mune. Here's the 1-2 to Shimochi. It's a fastball that misses way outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. I will say this, with Jarrell Cotton on the mound, this game is about to pick up its pace. He does work quickly. We've seen the right-hander throw quite a bit before. There's a breaking ball swung on its top slowly over to third, fielded by Mune. And back-to-back plays. Nice play there by Mune. That's going to retire Shimochi on a ground out 5-3. So 2 up and 2 away, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Daichi Suzuki. So as we said before, we are going to do that little one of these other pieces here. Our friend Alexander says you should consider investing in Don Best at least. Matthew says, at this point, I'd rather get a better return than investing in that. Yes, well, possibly so. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball delivered and taken for a called strike by Suzuki, and the count is 0-1. So just as a reminder, once this fifth inning wraps up, we're going to take a timeout as well. So if we end up looking like we're off the air, we might be, but we're going to reboot our entire system. And so hopefully you guys will come back with us for the top of the sixth. As that breaking ball misses down, and the count now is no balls and 2 strikes. And there's a breaking ball that misses down and goes all the way to the backstop, and the count now goes to 1-2. Our friend Caleb points out, don't forget about that first inning where they had runners on the corners. They ended up grounding into that double play. Absolutely. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to short, fielded by Kirby Ashe. He throws to first, and that's going to do it. So, all right, everybody, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go dark for a few minutes here. We're going to try to get our feeds sorted out. Hopefully it's maybe at our end, maybe not at the Pacific League, but if we do come back, we are going to come back. Hopefully we'll come back with a good solid feed. Stick around. We'll be back in just a few. I'll try to put the loop on here, but it is going to go away in just a few, as we're going to have to shut down on our end and re-kick it back up, and maybe that will solve the issue. And if not, we'll just have to grind it out the rest of the night. Well, hang tight, guys. We appreciate everybody for being here, listening in. We'll do the best we can. Well, welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you guys are with us. We're seeing if we're able to get this out. It is 1 ball and no strikes to Chano as he leads off the inning, and he hits a fly ball into straightaway center field. Moving over underneath it and making the grab is the center fielder, Takiro Okajima. And Chano is 1 up and 1 away here in the 6th inning. I don't know if we're going to be able to get this feed fixed tonight. We did a complete and utter shutdown, so it's got to be Pacific League issues, because we are still struggling at some ends with the feed being in and out. So Shuhei Fukuda comes to the plate. He's officially 0 for 1 tonight. He is grounded to second, and he has had a sacrifice bunt. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Fukuda. And as we said before, with this feed here, the way it's gone tonight, it may preclude us from wanting to take the risk of sticking around to do a second game. We were thinking about giving a double dip tonight, but I think the frustration would be right through the roof if we had to stick around and do another game like this. So all we can do is kind of grin and bear it, or wear it, depending upon how you want to call it. But it is definitely a problem tonight with the stream. And as I said, I don't believe that it is a issue at our end. I believe it's an issue with what is going on with the game in Tohoku. Well, there's 2 outs, and I can't tell you how the second out took place as Fukuda is out. It's going to bring Kai Nakagawa to the plate, as Nakagawa comes to bat here to face the right-hander Norimoto, who rocks into the delivery. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. Giving chase is the center fielder Okajima. He hauls it in, and that is going to do it here, as that will retire Nakagawa for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score is still the Eagles 3 and the Buffaloes none. We'll be back in just a couple moments, and we'll continue to try to battle this thing out. Hopefully you guys can hang around here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this, and now they say there is a network error that has caused the video download to fail in part way. So check your network connection and try again later. How about next week? We'll be back in a few.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters that are coming to bat for the Eagles in their half of the 6th inning. It means it's going to be Oda, Yamazaki, and the top of the order, Nishikawa. I haven't got an update as to why Kobakata had left the ball game, but that is where we have here. Kyle Cross wants to know if the starter is still in. The starter for the Eagles is still in, but the starter for the Buffaloes is long gone. We may have to run this off here on a little bit of a backfill. I'm not sure why this is not necessarily working for us here. A lot of school children at the game today, as it was yesterday. Lots of kids in attendance. And so coming to bat here, it's going to be Oda, Yamazaki, and Nishikawa. So we're ready to resume the action. For Oda tonight, he is 1 for 1. He also had a sacrifice bunt his last time up. So he is ready to face the right-hander Cotton, who's on for his 2nd inning of work. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Oda. Cotton ready to deliver again. There's the pitch. It's a fastball swung, and this ball is belted into deep left field. Moving back onto the warning track, looking up, and this one is gone. It's a home run for Hikaru Oda. as he has sent that one deep off of Jarrell Cotton. And that is a solo shot to increase the lead to 4-0. And that is going to bring up the shortstop, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. So 4-0 now lead for the Golden Eagles, and Yamazaki striding to the plate. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single, a stolen base, and he is grounded into a double play. So that is where we stand here. So not only are the Eagles in last place in the Pacific, not playing good baseball, although they are tonight. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Our friend Aswin says that the Buffaloes are finished. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. Well, it's going to be a challenge, but they still have to get into the Eagle bullpen. That's the problem. There's a fastball that swung on, and it's lifted foul. It's going to get into the seats, and the count remains at 0-2. Our friend Wayne Shaw says, where can I watch the games live from overseas? Depending on where you're at, Wayne, where are you at? There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field for a base hit. It's going to get down in front of the right fielder, Chano. And that is a base hit for Yamazaki. Way too easy. Jarrell Cotton delivered that fastball. And that was with a too good a fastball on an 0-2 count. Yamazaki had pounded into right field. Wayne's listening down in Australia. Well, we'll give you some pieces. There's up in the chat, there's some spots where people have given information. And as this brings Nishikawa to the plate, as the runner is at first and nobody out, he squares the bunt. Off to the races goes Yamazaki, and he's going to get himself his second stolen base of the night, as he's going to slide in safely, and that is going to run the count to 1 ball and no strikes to Nishikawa. So back to Wayne's question. The other thing you can do, Wayne, is being in Australia, if you have a VPN, they are showing the games on DAZN Japan. So if you have a VPN, you might be able to sneak in and be able to get the Japanese games on DAZN. That's one way in which you can try to avoid some of that stuff. And then there's some different things in the chat where people have put it in. As I said tonight, this is a lot of folks in the chat tonight, but it's absolutely frustrating for us as the feed has been moving in and out. There's a breaking ball down in the dirt, and it squirts away from the catcher, but that's going to be a wild pitch. And Yamazaki is going to move over to third base. And so it's now running the count to 1-1 on Nishikawa. Nishikawa looked like he had offered on the pitch. So said the home plate umpire. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So our friend Aswin says the Eagles are going to win this so easily. Well, one of the things is tonight is obviously the pitching matchup that the Buffaloes had sent out. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2 on Nishikawa. Also to the lineup that the Buffaloes had, this is not one of their stronger hitting lineups. We said Mori, Schwindel, and Sugimoto all out of action tonight. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As it is a getaway day in Tohoku. Here's the 1-2. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Our friend Plug Boy Johnny keeping the faith. Still cheering for his beloved Buffaloes. So hopefully, Wayne, that helps you out on your endeavors. As there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-2 to Nishikawa. As we said, Nishikawa entered the ball game in the middle of the at-bat for Hirota Kobakata. Interesting. It'll be curious to see what is up with Kobakata and how long he is out for. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and then that's going to be ball 4. Nishikawa is going to get himself a walk. That's going to put runners on the corners here with nobody out. And that's going to bring up the right fielder, Yoshi Watanabe. Well, for Watanabe, He is 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a couple of singles. He's also driven in a run. On the season, he is 2 for 6 at the plate. He had punched a single through the right side of the infield his last time up, bringing home a pair of runs. And that has what has put the Eagles in front at that time 3-0. They've since extended their lead here in this inning by a solo shot by Hikaru Oda. But they have runners on the corners with nobody out. And Jarrell Cotton has got himself in a little bit of a pickle here. The infield is still in for the Buffaloes. They're going to look to try to cut off the runner at the plate. As the right-hander Cotton delivers, there's a fastball that's delivered. It is thrown into center field by the catcher. They had the runner going to second base, which was Nishikawa. He's going to steal second. And then it's going to be an error on the catcher, Wakatsuki. That's going to advance Nishikawa over to third. And it is going to plate the run of Yamazaki for the 5th run of the ball game. And the Eagles are now out in front 5-0. Now the catcher, Wakatsuki, is making his way out to the mound and talk to his pitcher, Cotton, here. Oh boy, 5 bagel. Here we go. Our friend Wayne says, thanks for the help and good commentary. It would be better commentary if our feed wasn't hassling us here tonight, Wayne. That's been part of the problem. So 5-0 is now the scoreline for the Eagles as they're batting here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The runner at third is Nishikawa. The infield is still in. And Watanabe has got a 1-ball and no strike count. Here comes the offering from Cotton. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. As we said, Jarrell Cotton in his first year in the NPB, the former Minnesota Twin and Oakland Athletic, getting his sea legs right now in the NPB. Just as a note, Wayne, just when we think we've got it figured out and solved out, that's usually when we freeze up again. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Is grounded to the shortstop. Here comes the play at the plate, and it's in time to be able to nail Nishikawa. What a fantastic play by Kotaro Kobayashi. He had to take a couple of steps to his glove side. He did a 360 throw to the plate, and it was a bang-bang play to get Nishikawa. Oh, boy, that is absolutely huge. Watanabe's going to reach safely on the fielder's choice. But we'll watch that one again. He had to throw a strike, and it was right on the money. And a nice job there by the catcher, Wakatsuki, to be able to apply the tag. And that is going to retire Nishikawa for the first out of the inning, 6-2 on the putout. And that now is going to bring up the third baseman, Yukiya Ito. And now the Buffaloes can relax their defense as they've got the middles in double play. The corners are now even with the bag. At third is Mune, and the first baseman, Tongu, holding the runner at first. And now Cotton flips over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner, Ito. So Cotton ready to go back at it. He holds set at the belt. And again, he throws to first, and again, diving back in time is the base runner, Watanabe. For Ito, as we said, he's 1 for 2 in this one tonight. He's also drawn a walk. He's been on base twice. He's having himself a pretty good week here for the Golden Eagles. Getting a chance to get into the lineup. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend Alexander Leggett says he's going to call Wakatsuki Wacky from now on. There's a fastball that's delivered. It's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Ito. As we said, a little bit of a challenge here tonight with the streams and the feeds. I hope we can win this battle here the rest of the way. A personal battle with the Pacific League feed. There's a breaking ball swung on it as a check swing, and ball's got eyes. It gets past the second baseman into right field. Rounding second and heading to third is Watanabe. That was an excuse me single there by Ito as he's got himself a base hit. It punched it through just beyond the runner. We'll watch that again on the replay. And what happened was he checked his swing, the runner had to freeze because it was a bit of a looping liner that just got past the glove of the first baseman. And that is able to advance the runner from first, Watanabe, all the way over to third. And now they've got runners on the corners, do the Golden Eagles, with one gone. And it's going to bring up the second baseman, Hideto Asamura. But it's also going to bring the pitching coach and the translator out to the mound to have some words with the pitcher, Jarrell Cotton. Our friend Alexander says, poor Cotton. Really, in some ways, it was unfortunate because that was maybe inches away from being a line drive that was caught for a putout and possibly a double play. But this is the game of inches is what it can be sometimes, and it just got by the glove of Yumatongu. Well, that's going to bring Asamura to the plate. He is 0 for 3 in this one. He's twice flown out to right field. He's also struck out. His average has dipped below the proverbial Mendoza line, as he is now hitting 196 on the ball game and there, or on the season. And there's a throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Ito. So Asamura digs back in, ready here on the offering from Cotton. The Eagles are looking to extend their lead. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is lined into left field. It's going to be a base hit. In to score comes Watanabe. That is going to be the 6th run of the ball game. Stopping at second is going to be Ito. It's a single and an RBI for Asamura. And that is going to bring up the center fielder, Takiro Okajima. Well, for Okajima tonight, he is 1 for 2. He's got a home run in 2 at-bats. He's also drawn a walk. We're going to take our banner off here as we are in the last half of the 6th inning. Said we were losing our stuff on the in-between, as that has now increased the scoreline to 6-0 for the Eagles. The first pitch is delivered. It is a breaking ball that misses upstairs to Okajima for ball 1. Okajima tonight is 1 for 2. He's homered, and he's also grounded out to third and has drawn a walk. So officially 1 for 2 in this one. As the right-hander Cotton, our friend Troll Zaddy, says he needs one more run, baby. And there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0 to Okajima. This game here is one swing of the bat away from being a laugher, as it is a 6th spot on the board for the Golden Eagles, but 3 innings still to play for the Buffaloes. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball. It's taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Ecstasy says, I know I already won, but I just put another 20 for the Buffaloes to score over 0.5 just in case. Interesting. That's probably not a bad decision. I still think they can probably squeeze out a run here. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 2-2. Their offense is just too good, even without the big 3 in the lineup tonight. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Cotton works to the set position. He checks the runner at second and now delivers. It's a fastball swung on and lifted into the seats, foul down the third base line, and the count is going to stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we said, complete and utter frustration with the stream here tonight, and those who've hung in with us, we appreciate you for doing so. But looks like maybe it's only taken 6 innings to settle, as the pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes full to Okajima. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 gone here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here comes the 3-2 pitch from Cotton. That's a breaking ball that misses outside. That's going to be ball 4. That is going to load the bases, as the bases are now full of Eagles, and that's going to bring the designated hitter Hiroki Shimochi to the plate. Well, if there was a time for Shimochi to break out of his season-long slump, this would be the time to do it. Shimochi is coming to the dish here to face face Cotton here for the first time tonight. Check that, the second time tonight. He faced him in the last half inning where he grounded out. 0 for 3 on the evening for Shimouchi, and there's a breaking ball that misses outside for ball one, and the count is 1-0. He's probably going to get something fat here to hit. So there's got to be some patience here from the veteran designated hitter. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Moving back on it is the left fielder, and making the catch on the run is Fukuda. And that is going to get a run in, and it's going to advance the runner, Asamura, from second to third. It scores Ito from third. We now have a 7-0 ball game. That is going to be a sacrifice fly to 7 if you're scoring with us. That's going to put runners at the corners, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Daichi Suzuki. Troll says, we'll see if you're back on for the Bay Stars, Steve. Probably not. We would do the Lions and more than likely, the Lions and the Marines if we're going to be back on at 2 in the morning. But to Troll, congratulations on your victory. That's for sure. So Cotton's going to be facing the 9th hitter of the inning in Suzuki, as there's 2 gone now here. And the pitch is on the way. It is a fastball swung on. This is grounded over to the first baseman. Nice job by Tongu, who makes the stop. And that is going to retire Suzuki on a ground out to 3 to end the inning. So you've got 4 runs in the inning on the benefit of 4 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score after 6, it is the Golden Eagles 7 and the Buffaloes nothing. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back with all the action in just a couple minutes. And finally, our stream is settling down. Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate everybody who has stayed with us here tonight. It has been a bit of a slog, and the last couple innings, it has seemed to have settled down, as it is going to be the starter Norimoto coming back out for inning number 7 of work. He's been very economical with his pitches. We'll be back in just a half a moment here, as we're going to give you all the action, as Norimoto has completed his tosses. Our friend John Belushi says, damn, I just made $430 off a $25 I bet on the Eagles to win 4th and went all in on the 6th. And he says, good night. Well, we appreciate you for listening in, and hopefully we'll see you later on again in one of our future streams. Well, Norimoto has completed his warm-up tosses, and we are ready to resume the action, as it is going to be coming to bat here for the Buffaloes. It's going to be Tongu, Muni, and Gonzalez slated to hit here. We'll see how this is going to shape up. As we said before, we have been struggling a little bit with the feed tonight. It's been locking up and freezing up, it seems like, at every step of the way. And it is not disappointing here either. So as we're ready to begin the 7th, that's exactly what has happened. And here comes the first pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball that misses down. The count is 1-0 to Tongu. Tongu tonight 0 for 2. He has grounded into a double play and struck out his 2 trips to the plate. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-1. In this ball game here tonight, only 3 hits for the Buffaloes. One to Chano, one to Nakagawa, and the other one belongs to Mune, as there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count is 1-2. Norimoto has done a great job tonight throwing ice water on the Buffaloes here. Our friend Kyle asks the question, says, how many pitches is Norimoto at? He is at 70 pitches here in the 7th inning. He is absolutely cruising. There's a fastball swung on it, is tapped up the middle, fielded by the shortstop Yamazaki, who throws off one leg to first. That's going to retire Tongu on a ground out 6-3. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. And when you think about it, Kyle, the other night when Shoshi Togo went for the Yomiuri Giants against the Yokohama Danabe Stars, he threw 140 plus pitches in that ball game to get a complete game victory. Absolutely crazy. You wouldn't see that in Major League Baseball anymore, but he was absolutely out there dealing. So where Norimoto's at right now at 71 pitches, he's just getting warmed up. Here's the first pitch to Yuma Mune, and it's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Mune tonight is 1 for 2. He's raised his season average up to 258. As Kyle says, it is pretty impressive. That is for sure. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted foul down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats, and the count goes even to 1-1. Earlier this year, I saw Tetsuya Amai, the pitcher for the Saitama Cebu Lions. He did something similar. He went like 130 plus pitches in a victory. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on it, is tapped slowly up the middle, fielded by Asamura. He throws on the run, and that is going to retire Mune. Asamura, tip your hat to him tonight. He has had a gold glove type of ball game. I don't know if he didn't know he had that left in him. That's going to be a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. That is going to leave it all up to the designated hitter, Marwin Gonzalez. Well, for Gonzalez tonight, he is officially 0 for 1. He has walked his last time up, but he's flown to center. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Norimoto has been on his game, but he's also had the help defensively from his ball club here. Alexander Leggett said the lads are really trying out there. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. Well, as I said last year, when the Golden Eagles rattled off that, 17-game win streak, they were playing as good a baseball as you could have anticipated, and they've never lived up to that potential since then. And that's going back about almost 12 months ago. There's a fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats. And the count is 1-2 strikes to Gonzalez. Gonzalez batting here with 2 gone, and the 1-2 pitch ready to come from Norimoto as he gets the sign from his catcher and he rocks into the motion. And here comes the offering. It is a fastball swung on and line foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. 1-2 strikes it is. So 1-2. As it is here again to Marwin Gonzalez. The Buffaloes are looking to find a way to break the ice here. Looking for their first run, and now Norimoto steps off the backside of the rubber, and he's going to reset himself to do it again. As I said, it's an interesting ballpark. They also have like a berm in left center field, this Golden Eagles Park. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the right field line. Moving over and picking it up is the right fielder, and that is Watanabe. He fires it back in, and that's going to hold Gonzalez to a long single. It's going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. Did a pretty good job, did Gonzalez, keeping his hands inside the baseball and driving that for a line drive, cutting it off there. As we mentioned before, Watanabe, he was really shading Gonzalez to the pole side. So a 2-out single for Gonzalez, and Kenya Wakatsuki stepping to the plate. Akatsuki in this one here, officially 0 for 1. He has a flyout and he has had a sacrifice bunt as he swings through a breaking ball, and the count is quickly 0-1. As we mentioned, we're going to be back on the airwaves again for the Eagles and the Lions on Friday and Saturday North America time. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. And we will look to call in addition to those games. We were thinking about maybe doing a doubleheader tonight, but I don't know if this is the Pacific feed or if this is just the feeds in general. But the transmission has been absolutely atrocious. I don't know if Alexander Leggett's still listening in, what his has been like tonight. Ours has been a proverbial nightmare. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as the right-hander holds set and now delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2. Anybody else who's listening in who might have themselves a feed to pair off, it has been helter-skelter, and it has been sketchy all night long. Here comes the 1-2 from Norimoto, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be grounded through the 4-hole into right field. And stopping at second is going to be Gonzalez, as the right fielder, Watanabe, was playing shallow. That's going to put runners at first and second. It's going to bring Kotaro Kobayashi to the plate. So back-to-back 2-out singles here. They've been getting something going. Alexander says 90%. That's pretty good, because normally ours is really good. And then just tonight, I don't know what the deal is. We may have to do another shutdown in between. It is 12:30, so I said if we could be done by 1:15 in this game here, we would look to maybe do a second ball game. I'm not 100% sure I'm sold on that one here tonight. So Kobayashi here facing the right-hander, Norimoto, who delivers a fastball that misses down for ball one, and the count is 1-0. Sometimes if it's what I would call the feed where if it's live QQ, you always get some sketchy stuff on some of those ones, but this is coming right from the horse's mouth, so to speak. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. It's going to be a base hit, and the ball is going to get all the way to the wall. Coming in to score is Gonzalez, and stopping at third is going to be the base runner, Wakatsuki, and that's going to be a double for Kobayashi. All the hits here coming with 2 gone, and the Buffaloes have opened up their scoring, and the score now is 7-1, and that's going to get a visit from the pitching coach out to the mound before Koji Oshiro comes to bat. Well, what do you think of that? Norimoto cruising along, 2 outs here in the 7th inning, and then back-to-back hits. I've got the Buffaloes here on the board with their first run of the ball game. I don't want to jump ahead here, but one swing of the bat here could cut the lead in less than half. And of course, that could set up an exciting finish. And our friend Plug Boy Johnny is going to be flapping through the chat here the rest of the night. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Oshiro tonight 0 for 2. He has flown to center and grounded out to first. One player who just seems to have dropped out of favor from the Buffaloes. We've seen him a little bit this year, but haven't really seen anything from Ryo Adachi. I know he has been around for a bit, but he is no longer in the favor, I guess, of the Buffaloes brass, so to speak. He seemed to be obviously with Gonzalez and then Oshiro, and I want to say Noguchi was the other one that they've rolled out at second base. We've seen everybody but Adachi. There was a fastball that just misses down. The count now goes to 2-0, so 2 balls and no strikes. Oshiro's able to turn the batting order over. It'll be Chano who waits his turn on deck. So Ecstasy says putting some coin on the over 0.5 on the Buffaloes is the best bet he's had this week. Our friend Sean says just walk him and hit the grand slam. Yeah, that might work as well. And as we said here, our feeds have been sketchy through most of the evening here, as we just can't seem to catch a break with anything. As I said, it's been Pacific League baseball at its finest. I'm not sure what the deal is, as we've got 2 balls and no strikes here, but we're waiting on the pitcher to deliver, and we're waiting on our feed to make a comeback. So runner at third is Wakatsuki. The runner at second, Kirbayashi. 2 balls and no strikes to Oshiro. And that is where we have paused out, I guess. And so there's a pitch that's delivered, and this ball is swung on, and this ball is going to be hammered into the outfield. Rounding first and heading to second is the runner, Oshiro, and that's going to cut the lead to 7-3. Holy man. As that ball was lifted, and that is going to be a 2 RBI double for Oshiro. That's going to bring up the... Where are we at here? We're going to bring up... It's going to bring up... It looks like it's going to bring up Chano to the dish. So we'll catch up on where that ball ended up, as we're a little behind. It was a 3-1 pitch to Oshiro, as that pitch had missed it upstairs. That is where this one stands here. So if you're interested in this one, as the Buffaloes are trying to make their comeback, that is exactly what they're doing. So that was a 3-1 pitch to Oshiro. He was at the plate, and he had smoked that double down the left field line. It looked like it hit the bag and was past the diving third baseman. So he is at second, and Chano at the plate here. So 7-3 is the scoreline, and the Buffaloes are starting to make that comeback. And the pitch is a fastball that misses outside to Chano, and the count is now 3-0 to him. So I apologize for jumping around a little bit here on our feed. Our feed has been misbehaving here for the evening. So a double and a 2 RBI double for Oshiro. 7-3 is now the scoreline. Eagles are up by 4 here. That's 3 balls and no strikes. And one would have to think that this might be the last batter that the starter Norimoto might be facing. And here's the 3-0 pitch. There's a fastball that carves the plate in half. The count is 3-1. But that being said, also have to realize that it is very, very difficult here, because the bullpen of the Eagles is so dicey. Maybe they don't want to turn this one over to them at all, as we've got 3 balls and 1 strike, and yet again we come to a pause. This is the tough night that we have here. Friend Sean says that, what do we have here? We've got 2 outs. The runner at second is Oshiro, and Chano at the plate with a 3-1 count, and that's where everything locks up here. So we just have to pause it out here. Our friend Ecstasy says it's apologizing. He figures that that's the last run that they're going to score here tonight. And maybe he's right. And so here comes the offering. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly over to second. It is fielded by Asamura. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Chano on a ground out 4-3 to end the inning. That is going to do it here in the top of the 7th. Well, the Buffaloes get 3 back in the inning. They had 3 runs in the inning on the benefit of 4 hits. Everything here was done with 2 out, and that is going to do it. I wonder if that'll be the end of the night for Norimoto. Stick around, everybody. We got the bottom of the 7th coming up here. I'm sure we'll have a pitching change for the Buffaloes. We need to get ourselves a little bit of a break, and we'll come on back and try to do this again. Thanks for being here with us, everybody. We appreciate you guys for being here. Hang tight. Anything is possible, says Sean, and you're probably right.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving here to the bottom half of the seventh inning, and coming to bat, or scheduled to come to bat, will be Oda, Yamazaki, and the top of the order in Ishikawa. That is the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order. The Buffaloes have got onto the scoreboard as they are now trailing 7-3. It was a couple of clutch hits and everything done with 2 outs in that inning that has brought them back into the ballgame. It was a 2-out single by Marwin Gonzalez, followed by a Kenya Wakatsuki single, a 1-run double by Kirby brought home Gonzalez, and then Koji Oshiro knocked in a pair. And now we do have a pitching change as the Buffaloes are going to their bullpen yet again, as they are going to be bringing in a right-hander here to take over, and this is going to be number 65, and that will be Urishibara. So Taisi Urishibara coming into the ballgame. This is his 7th appearance of the year. He's worked 7 2/3 innings. He's allowed 6 hits. He's walked 3, struck out 4, and he's got an ERA of 0. He is going to be facing Ota, Yamazaki, and Nishikawa here. So Taisi Urishibara in the ballgame. And Ota steps up to the plate. As we said tonight, he is 2 for 2. He's singled, he's homered, and he has a sacrifice bunt to his name. That's an interesting stat. I remember the University of Kentucky used to keep, if a hitter hit a home run, did he have a bunt later in the game a few years ago, as that fastball misses for a ball and the count is 1-0. The pitcher, Urishibara, not happy with the mound as he's down there grooming the landing spot. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander ready to deliver again. There's a fastball that comes inside, and looks like it has hit the batter, Oda, and it may have doubled up and hit the catcher as well. He's going to be on his way to first. So he is aboard with a hit batter. That's going to bring up Yamazaki to the plate. Our friend XDC says, just suggesting, but can this stream put graphics like how many players are on base or outs? Not at this point. And not that your suggestion isn't been thought about, but not at this point in time. So we will be something that we'll look into. We've been ultimately evolving the stream. We run the ticker across the bottom with the scores, as that first pitch is a fastball that misses for ball 1. The count is 1-0 to Yamazaki. Yamazaki is batting here. He's got 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a couple of singles. He stole a couple of bases, and he scored a couple of runs. He's also grounded into a double play back in the 2nd inning. He is squaring to bunt here, and the pitch is on the way, and it is bunted. It's down on the first base side. Picking it up is the pitcher, who is Shibashi, and he throws to first. That's going to retire Yamazaki. It's going to go a sacrifice 1-4 on the putout. It's going to advance Oda into scoring position. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Nishikawa. Our friend Plug Boy Johnny says, yeah, I like it this way. Yeah, we haven't really done the stuff of, sometimes we've had that debate about putting stuff onto the channel or extra stuff or running tickers or stuff like that. And we haven't done it. And the reason for that is because sometimes that distracts the people. A lot of people are here to listen more than they are to watch some of the stuff. Not that it's not a good suggestion. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is grounded over to the right side of the infield. It is fielded neatly by Oshiro. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Nishikawa. It goes as a ground out 4-3. and he is gone for out number 2. It does advance Oda over to third. That's going to leave it all up to Yoshi Watanabe to try to add another run on the board here for the Eagles. Watanabe tonight is 2 for 4. He's got a couple of singles in his 4 trips. One of the websites that we used to use as a go-to, and it really hasn't been a go-to this year, is the Hosted Stats website. And it was an absolute fantastic website where you can get the scores of the games and all the updates and everything like that. And it has not been working at all. It's a good English-Japanese site. I say English-Japanese site, but a good site for where the Japanese games are. And they have not been updating at all this year. The fastball has swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Watanabe. I don't know why that is. It is completely strange why that has not been working at all. So no balls and 1 strike. And by all the looks of it, we could see Norimoto coming back in for another inning of work. As we mentioned, the bullpen for the Eagles was completely taxed last night as they had to do a number of stuff as the 0-1 pitch is ready to come here to Watanabe, and it is a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. 2 gone here and a runner at third base. And the frustration of our streams here continues. We're good for all of about 30 minutes, and then it becomes, or not even 30 minutes, we're good for about maybe 5 minutes, and then it becomes an absolute slogfest all over again. So no balls and 2 strikes here as Uri Shibara ready to go again. Curious to see if the manager Ishii is going to stay with Norimoto or if he's going to go to the bullpen. Let's see what's going to happen here. As Uri Shibara ready to come back at it again. He gets the sign from his catcher. As the left-handed hitting Watanabe waiting here on the offering. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball. Take it for a called third strike. Watanabe is down on strikes looking for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Eagles in their half of the inning. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the top of the 8th. And your score is the Eagles 7 and the Buffaloes 3. Hang tight, everybody. We have a pitching change coming up, and we'll be back here in just a couple moments with all the action. We are glad you guys could be here with us tonight. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. That was our friend Matt Hollis, and it is going to be the reliever Uchi is coming into the ball game, so we do have a pitching change. We saw Uchi make his season debut, so interesting to see that they're turning him here early in this one. But this is who is going to be coming on in relief. The right-hander here is going to be taking over for the starter Norimoto, and so Uchi is coming in. I always get a fan over what they have to call him. He's worked 7 ball games this year. He's got 1 win and 1 loss. He has pitched in 9 innings. He's allowed 5 hits. He has walked none and struck out at 11, and he's got an ERA of 2. So he is taking over here. And we'll be ready to get this one resumed here in just a moment after he has completed his warm-up tosses. We saw him in his Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagle debut, and he was very impressive a couple of weeks back. There's a first pitch breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Shuhei Fukuda. Fukuda in this one tonight, 0 for 2. He has, or 0 for 1. He's got a sacrifice bunt, and he's grounded out. And he swings at it. He pops up here in the infield, moving over underneath it is the first baseman, Daichi Suzuki, and he's going to make the catch. And Fukuda is going to be retired for the first out of the inning. 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Kai Nakagawa to the plate. Well, for Nakagawa, he is 1 for 3 in this one. He's got a single in 3 trips. He's also grounded the shortstop, and he has flown out to center field. So 2 pitches and 1 gone here in the 8th inning as Uchi is ready to go again. As he rocks into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. He very much like Yoshinobu Yamamoto in his new delivery. Yamamoto really doesn't have a big leg kick. He almost like walks into the delivery. He takes the step back, and then there's hardly any type of a leg kick. And there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As we said before, it's been a slog festival tonight for us in the streaming portion of this because the stuff has been going in and out all night long. And as we said, I did a complete and utter shutdown in the in-between innings. We weren't able to keep up with the stream, and that's been unfortunate in this part here. So I got 1 ball and 1 strike to Nakagawa. By the looks of it, we're probably ready to go back into the next inning with the Buffaloes because I think it was a pretty quick inning for Uchi, but I'll have to try to get everybody back up to speed because we ourselves are off the speed, that is for sure. They do have the high school kids that are in attendance. So that was a pretty quick inning there, as it was a 1-2-3 inning in the 8th inning. Nakagawa ended up grounding out to third, 5-3, and then it was a pop-up to second by Yuma Tongu. So now we're heading to the bottom of the 8th inning. And this one here, as we said, our feeds stall. We lose the batters. And if you could only see my reactions over here, because I'm not very happy. It is going to be the right-hander who is coming back in again here. And that, of course, is the right-hander Murashihara. So he is coming back out for his next inning of work. So Uchiha did his job in that inning. I wonder if he's going to close that out with the 4-run lead. But we never will know here if we can't get our damn feedback. No pun intended. Tough night at the office for sure here in the Pacific League with their feeds. And as I said, we were thinking about doing a double dip here tonight, and that can pretty much be off of the board. Our friend Sean says, can you all stop doing that to see what happens? That's kind of the part, that's the etiquette. Unfortunately, tonight for us, with our streams being a bit of a hassle, it has been a bit of a challenge for us here tonight in terms of this. And so I can understand maybe people having a hard time following along, but it can get a bit annoying when people are jumping the streams as we have some of that stuff. But as I said tonight, it's been absolutely frustrating at our end. I just have to sit here and toss my hands up because we are unable at times to get the feed, and when we do, we lose a significant amount of ground. It is Ito who is at the plate here, and it is 1 ball and 2 strikes to him in the bottom of the 8th inning. He'll be followed by Asamura and Okajima. We get 1 feed back, and we lose the other. As the pitch is a fastball swung on, it is grounded up the middle. It is fielded by Kirby-Ashi. He fields it deep behind the bag at second base. He does a 360 and he throws to first. What a great play by the Buffalo shortstop to retire Ito on a ground out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. So one away here. And we have multiple feeds that are set up. We learned this a couple of years ago, why we've got a couple of different computers. If one goes down, the other one is able to work for us. And unfortunately, the one is not helping the other one. That is for sure. Well, that brings Hideto Asamura to the plate. And Asamura tonight is 1 for 4. As he is ready to face the offering here from the right-hander Urashiwara. Yeah, the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Asamura waggling the bat as the right-hander leans in and works to the set position. And Urashiwara kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to third, fielded by Mune, who spins and he throws to first, and that is going to retire Asamura on a ground out 5-3. So we have 2 away here in the 8th inning, and that's going to leave it all up to Takara Okajima. So just when I think I've got one stream sorted out, the other one goes down, and when the other one goes up, the other one goes down. And so Okajima striding to the plate. He got the party started tonight for the Eagles with a solo shot in the second. He's walked a couple of times and he's grounded out to third. He's raised his season average to 284. As we're ready to go again here. And Alexander says, yeah, he's also in some of that too, monitoring the chat, but we appreciate you, Alexander. The problem is we're off in terms of some of the stuff. I've got a 1 ball and 1 strike count right now on the batter Okajima with 2 gone here. And the problem is it just keeps freezing, locking in and out, and it's been a nuisance to be able to keep up with. As we're approaching the 1 o'clock hour on the Pacific Coast, there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2 to Okajima. Hoping that we can do something. I do plan to, tomorrow night, probably be a game time decision, but I'm looking to add the Eagles and the Lions tomorrow night as well. Maybe do that entire series. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 1-2. I think we'll do the 2 a.m. ball game, but we were thinking about doing a doubleheader tonight, but I just can't see the doubleheader occurring if this is the way the Pacific League is going to operate. I say the Pacific League because that's the feed we're using. And the other piece is we've got to take a look at our own stuff. We already powered down earlier, so we'll do a complete shutdown again here, and hopefully maybe we'll be able to pick up a better thing as well. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to second. Fielded neatly by Oshiro. He throws to first, and Okajima's retired on a ground out 4-3 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Eagles. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. The manager, Ishii, is out to yet make another pitching change. So let's see what we have here to offer. My guess is it going to be Yuki Matsui. Why not? He is generally their closer, and they haven't had much to close lately. So let's see if who is coming in here in just a moment. Appreciate everybody for hanging in here with us. I'm going to tell you this much. If we're done this game tonight, we don't come back, we will enjoy a beer or maybe something else. We'll be right back in just a few. Hang tight, everybody. We thank you for being here.
Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate your support and everybody out there. Steve again here, obviously, with the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, we have Bernie Brewer on my favorite beverage of choice right there, along with a card of Bernie. Yay! Now, we got some special guests here. I'm not just talking about our Hall of Fame lineup. I must be in the front row. Hey, come on there, Robin. I got 3,000 hits. What do you have? Well, I was the all-time saves leader, and I got 1.5 feet on you. Okay, Raleigh, settle down, buddy. Now, none of this could be possible without Harvey's Wallbangers. There's Harvey. And who could forget the Fonz? Hey.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the ninth inning, and coming to bat here will be Yuma Mune, Marwin Gonzalez, and Kenya Wakatsuki. Our friend Gabo asks if we live in Japan. Nope, we don't live in Japan, but we do live in Canada, so a little bit different than our friends who are in the United States who are listening in. So sometimes their product is a little bit different, and maybe where they can access games. There was a friend of the channel who sent me a app that you can get, but if you have a VPN, you could probably pull it down, which we are going to entertain with ourselves. But the problem is that it's actually a Taiwanese app. So some of our American friends may be able to pull it down, but we can't here north of the border. It's an app that will provide you, 100 and some odd Japanese stations. And you can get all the baseball that you want out of that through the product that they have out of Taiwan. So Yuki Matsui onto the mound here, as he is going to be facing Yuma Mune, Marwin Gonzalez, and Kenya Wakatsuki. But as we said before, the frustration, or at least our frustration, has been the inconsistency of the stream here tonight. And it's usually a pretty reliable stream. So that is the way it goes sometimes. So here we go for the top of the ninth inning. A 7-3 ball game here for the Eagles. After this game is done, we'll give you a full recap of the scoring, a little roundup. Of course, this is the only game that's going on right now. All the other games are going to be starting in less than an hour. So Matsui here ready to face Yuma Mune, Gonzalez, and Wakatsuki. And the first pitch is ready to come as Matsui kicks and delivers. Squaring to bunt is Mune. He bunts it down the first base line, but he takes it right to Daichi Suzuki, and he is going to be tagged out. That is going to be a ground out to 3 for the first out of the inning. So one pitch and one away here. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Marwin Gonzalez. And as we said, hopefully we can work this up in another couple of days, and we won't have the same problem that we had tonight with the way that the stream was going up and down. That is a pretty rough start to the night here. So Gonzalez batting now from the right side for the first time tonight, as he is a switch hitter facing the lefty Matsui, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike it is. Matsui leans in and he gets the sign from his catcher Oda. He's ready to go again. As now he kicks and he fires. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. One thing that I will say about Matsui, he never makes things easy for himself. He always seems to throw a lot of pitches in his saves. So to get that first out, a cheap out there on the bunt to the first baseman Suzuki, Matsui may be able to find something here. There's a lot of talk that Matsui wants to come to Major League Baseball. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded, and it's up the middle for a base hit. And Gonzalez is aboard with a 1-out single, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. Well, that's how all the scoring started in the 7th inning, as Gonzalez had himself a base hit with 2 out, and then they proceeded to put 3 runs on the board. This time he's got the base hit with 1 out. So the Buffaloes are not dead yet. So Wakatsuki stepping to the plate. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single in 2 trips. He has also had a sacrifice bunt. And the lefty Matsui ready to go again. As he holds set at the belt and he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that pours in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I'm not so sure that Wakatsuki appreciated that call. It stood him up a little bit. We're here in the top of the 9th inning, 7-3 for the Eagles. The score line is a lot closer than what the game has been tonight. The 3 runs that the Buffaloes scored in the 7th inning all came with 2 out. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. Now the count goes to 0-2 on Wakatsuki. This is where Matsui is going to have a hard time, or has had hard times, I should say, trying to finish batters off. So Matsui leans in, he gets the sign from Oda. And here comes the 0-2 offering. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and missed. And Wakatsuki goes down on strikes for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to Kotaro Kobayashi. Well, for Kobayashi, he drove in the first run of the ball game for the Buffaloes on a double down the left field line. I think it might have hit the bag and got down into the corner his last time up. Kobayashi has played some pretty stellar defense tonight. He's made some plays going up the middle and also to his backhand side, flashing the leather, the young shortstop. So he bats here with 2 gone in the 9th inning. He waggles the bat, and here comes the offering from the left-hander Matsui, who holds set and now delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. They appeal over to the first base umpire. But they say he didn't go, and the count is 1-0 to Kotaro Kobayashi. Got to find a way to get to the top of the order, and then this game can become exciting again. 1 ball and no strikes. As the lefty Matsui holds set. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And the count now goes to 1-1. Well, I have to say that last pitch was at 149 kilometers an hour. And so that translates out into about a 90, I would say about a 93 mile an hour fastball, maybe 94. With the quick math in our head. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Matsui ready to go again here as he gets the sign from his catcher Oda. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed. And now the Buffaloes are down to their final strike. Our buddy plug boy Johnny waiting in here and streaming in, or waiting for the final piece here. Holding his breath for the last out, or the last hope before the last out. So they're down to the final strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is, as Matsui shakes off his catcher Oda. And now he's ready to deliver. And he kicks and he fires. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul behind home plate. And the count remains at 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said before, we will be back on the airwaves again on Friday and Saturday, but we are a game time decision for tomorrow night. If we do, it'll be the 2 a.m. affairs, and it would more than likely be the Eagles and the Lions. We'll do that whole series. So hopefully, if you're around for this, you can join us. So here comes the 1-2 as Matsui holds set and now delivers. There is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And it is fielded by the catcher Oda. He throws to first. It's going to go as a strikeout, 2-3 in the books. And that will do it here for out number 3. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard. The final score is the Eagles 7, the Buffaloes 3. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back, and we're going to wrap this all up for you in just a couple of minutes. Appreciate you guys for sticking in with us tonight. This was not an easy one for sure. I don't think we're coming back for number 2 a little later, but we'll be right back in just a few, and I'll wrap this one up for you here tonight. Final score, 7-3 for the Eagles.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May, but you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you guys for being here with us and hanging with us through this slog here tonight. And our friend God is Great, that is Titus, who's popping in here at the end. We thank you for being here. I didn't quite see, I couldn't keep up with the chat there for a bit as we were just so much maintenance on the back end. The rundown on this one here, that we've got scoring got going in the second inning. A solo shot by Takiro Okajima opened the scoring for the Eagles. That put them up 1-0. Eagles added to their lead in the fourth inning when Daichi Suzuki was hit by a pitch. Then Hikaru Oda advanced him to second on a sacrifice bunt. Tsuyoshi Yamazaki then singled, and that put runners at the corners. And then it was in the middle of the at-bat. It was really strange. Hiromu Kobakata, it was a 1-0 count, and then they put in Nishikawa to come into bat for him. He ended up drawing a walk. And then it was a Yoshi Watanabe single that brought home the runner Suzuki to make the scoreline 2-0. And then that's where we lost it a little bit. We were able to get our feed as it also brought home Tsuyoshi Yamazaki ended up scoring. So they had a 3-0 lead at the end of that inning. May have been the 2 RBI single by Yoshi Watanabe that brought that in. Then as we moved along, it was in the sixth inning where the Eagles ended up padding their lead. They scored 4 runs in the inning. A leadoff home run by Hikaru Oda. He went the other way. And that made the scoreline at that point 4-0. Then it was a single by Yamazaki, a walk to Nishikawa. Then Watanabe bounced into a fielder's choice. That ended up retiring Nishikawa out at the plate. A single by Ito, an RBI single by Asamura. And then it was a sacrifice fly by Shimochi, brought in the other runs. And that made the score 7-0. The Orix Buffaloes got their runs back in the seventh inning with 2 out, a single by Marwin Gonzalez, followed by a single by Kenya Wakatsuki, and a double that knocked in a run by Kotaro Kobayashi made the score 7-1. And then a 2-run double by Koji Oshiro made it 7-3, and that's where the scoring ended. Well, guys, we appreciate everybody for being here with us. That final score is 7-3. I don't know what to say other than hopefully we can dust ourselves off and do it all again tomorrow. Hopefully you guys can make it back in here with us. Once again, if you're new to the channel, we appreciate your support. And don't forget to come on back again and bookmark us. We'll be back on the airwaves again in less than 24 hours. All right, everybody. Appreciate it once again. Hopefully you guys have yourselves a great night. We'll be signing off. And again, it's been another Last Raps Baseball video production. Hope you have a great night.